Hello.
Hello, happy Pentecost. It is the birthday of the church today.
Is it?
This is why I timed the episode for this day. It's because Pentecost is today.
Oh, I actually don't know
you
what
remember?
Pentecost is, so.
You remember to wear red, didn't you?
No, I'm wearing a shirt that says Red Fang on it. Does that count?
It is a day that commemorates the Holy Spirit descending upon Jesus, taking him back to heaven, and thus the formation of the Catholic Church as led by the Apostle Peter and the rest of the disciples, 10 of them, not including Peter. Judas was the 12th, but of course we know what happens with Judas in the story. He's gone, and then the church properly begins, where you have the legend where at their first speech, the flaming tongues land on the shoulders of all the disciples, and they start speaking in every language at once, so everyone in attendance can understand what they're saying about the good news, as the legend goes. But you wouldn't know any of that now, would you?
No, I would not. I am not
Yeah.
a devout individual.
You stop reading the Bible halfway through.
Like I said, I read Genesis. That's about it.
You read all the legends.
Yeah.
And funny enough, before we did this episode, who did Joe Rogan just interview? Let's see. Joe Rogan he had a real life member of the Sons of Ether come on for a podcast.
Who would that be?
Trying to figure out. Terrence Howard, that's who. And unless you're familiar with more open to ideas, kind of like Cat Williams, you had to give the suspension of disbelief to listen to what Cat Williams had to say. But no, Terrence Howard, that's a man that's been screwed over by Hollywood. And he left it in order to become like this philosopher scientist, kind of, sort of. And like he retired from acting 2 years ago. And he talks about the ether, and he's talking about the God particle. Now it created the world, and it's an interesting conversation the two of them have. So
I've watched Joe Rogan in years.
you love Joe Rogan. You watch every episode.
I mean, my most recent hyperfixation has been Indian Idol's World War II week by week.
He is back up on YouTube, by the way. His deal with Spotify expired.
Oh, Joe Rogan?
Yeah, now you can listen to his entire episodes on YouTube again.
Oh, neat.
Yep.
Anyway, so we...
Hunter the Reckoning was the Pentecost connection.
Yes, so we played as Garrow, and that's all cool. We played as vampires, and that's kind of neat. And we have mages that can do cool time shit. But what if you just wanted to play a squishy flesh and blood individual imbued with the powers of actual God? And then White Wolf said...
You want to play as a man imbued with the power of God!
And White Wolf said, hold my beer, and thus we have Hunter the Reckoning.
It's the New Testament. This is your age, this is your experience. You've been made the next prophet, you've been made the next Messiah. This is Hunter the Reckoning as it was meant to be played. We are not talking about any of that horse shit with 5th edition. I hate that book. I hate that book with all my heart. That now that I look at it, that book was worse than Werewolf 5e.
Oh, good lord. About it.
Because you did not make Hunter the Reckoning 5th edition. You made Hunter the Vigil 3rd edition. That's what that book was. And yeah, I love living in an America that's more secular than is religious. Love it. I hate this current political landscape.
Everyone does.
And because at least Werewolf, it still had Gnosis in it. It still had gifts. It still had rage. Hunter had none of it. None of it. You might as well just be playing an NPC sheet.
You're a squishy flesh and blood human. Good luck.
And you may be saying, well, that was the thing in Hunter the Vigil. Need I remind everybody listening who's a Chronicle of Darkness stan that the Lucifuge existed in Hunter the Vigil. Yeah, that threw all realism out the window if you just want to play a more gritty kind of game where you're just a squishy human. Now let's make a pact with the devil. That'll be a fine way to get back into supernaturals, but I digress, and we're not talking about Hunters Hunted. That's a different episode later down the line. And
no, we are talking about you are actually a prophet.
You are like 10% angel by this point.
Yes. You are at humanity
Uh,
10. Nothing can stop you.
to give a basic overview as to what it means to be the Imbued, you are a man that has been picked up off the street. You can be anybody. Once again, the thing with vampire, you could just be anybody. But it's God himself and his angels that have come to you and have explained the entirety of the masquerade, the veil, ascension, the Shadowlands, the dreaming. Everything has been dropped in your lap right then and there. And if you survive learning all this within one day, you become his chosen, where your mission is simple. Go out, purge everything that isn't human, and save the world. That is your mission.
Quite
Now,
literally, your job is to save the world now.
it is, but at the same time, this includes every single supernatural. They all need to die, and there are some good vampires like the Salubri and the Gangrel who are, well, the Gangrel more amoral, and the Ravnos. And then there's good werewolves. We have plenty of good werewolves, and there's good mages like the Celestial Chorus. This includes the Celestial Chorus in a sick, twisted way.
That
you
is
have to
kind of
purge.
fucked, isn't it? You know?
Given that, yes, you do believe in God, but does that mean the Celestial Chorus has been going about the wrong way? The answer is yes. And we will talk more about the Celestial Chorus when we finally tackle Mage, but it is going to take a long time for us to get to Mage because of how incredibly esoteric and complex Mage is. This is easier to talk about by a long mile. By a long mile.
Yes.
All right.
Like initially, Colt, before he was turned in the vampire game that will never be seen, he was an IAA agent, but he was not imbued.
Yeah. Where the IAA, those are spared from the hunts. I mean, those are technically your allies, but you don't directly work with the government when you're a hunter. This is a vigilante simulator. The fun thing about playing Hunter the Reckoning is, if I can make a very apt comparison as to what it's like playing a game that's about the boys, the Amazon and the comic series, where you are Billy Butcher, Huey, Frenchie, and all the rest of the boys, and you are out fighting men who way outclass you, and you somehow need to win in that fight. And there is a compound V you can take in your edges. That's the fun stuff, where you've been God's chosen. You can perform miracles in small ways. And the leveling progression system, this game is very strict with how it gives you powers, but in the long run, you will be outclassing vampires, werewolves, and mages in damage. Maybe not so much changelings, because changelings are broken, but hunters are up there in terms of power.
Remember, as a hunter, you are still a flesh and blood human. While you can deal some considerable damage, you are very, very squishy.
Along with mages, if you take more than 3 points in lethal or aggravated damage, you start bleeding. If you can't find a way to staunch that bleeding through your magic powers or through some serious medical attention you get at that moment, you will die of blood loss.
Yep, that shit's fucked.
Along with that, you have no weaknesses. There's no stake to the heart. There's no silver bullet. There's no specific weaknesses like that. There's no gish. There's no blessing. Anything can kill you in this game. Anything. The best thing a Nosferatu can do to fight hunters is release a plague in a city. That's the best way he can get hunters off his trail. And this is a game where a TPK is waiting around the corner at any time. You gotta be on your A game when you play Hunter the Reckoning. The way this was intended for you to play was, I think White Wolf was expecting you to do something along the lines of Dynasty Warriors, where you just go out, you fight these guys, you win in a blaze of glory. But no, I've heard of dozens of Hunter the Reckoning games that have played like that and have ended in one session because either the DM made the enemies too strong, or the players had way too much confidence in their player characters right after character creation. You're not as powerful as a vampire. You need to think before you go into those battles.
Yep.
I mean,
You need some
Once again,
Rainbow Six Tom Clancy levels of planning before you go into something.
with that boys comparison, did you watch the first episode?
I actually did not. I have not had
Okay,
time to keep up with pop culture.
this is not a spoiler because this is the first 2 episodes, and season 4 is coming out. To kill Translucent, who was a guy that had diamond skin and could turn invisible. So basically, a Nosferatu with fortitude, like 5 points in fortitude, you could say. That was the first target, and they only win that fight because they jumped the guy, and Huey only figured out through watching the news that the dude's skin was made out of carbon. Therefore, it could conduct electricity, and he just took a lucky guess as to what his weakness was. So you knocked him out, but killing him was the issue. Because after all, diamond skin, you shoot him, you blow him up, he survives all of it. The way you killed him is by putting a dynamite enema up his ass and then lighting the fuse. That's how he dies.
Yep. Basically.
So that's the kind of stuff you have to do with the vampires, the werewolves, and the mages. You have to know what you're up against. You have to be damn sure everything it can do and how you can kill it before you hunt it. I mean, after all, you just don't go out in the woods with a knife and you just expect to come back with a deer. No, you have to know, what does the deer eat? Where can I find the deer? Where do I need to shoot the deer in order for it to die in one shot? You need to know these things before you go after your vampires. So fighting stuff like, say, a Malkavian or a Toreador, those are going to be a hell of a ride, no matter how you spin it. Same with the Ventru. But those are manageable because those are creatures of habit. You will know how to solve those hunts pretty easily. Now compare that with hunting a La Sombra or Zimichi. You can imagine how well that's going to go, right, Kyle?
You're going to get turned into a flesh chair like fucking Cruelty Squad.
Or a portal to hell is going to open up beneath your feet and you're going to get dragged into it with a La Sombra.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, this is a wonderful time for my tinnitus to go off.
I hate when that
Get
happens.
down my left ear. See, my ear noise. See, it's the reason why Huey Lewis doesn't perform anymore.
Oh, tinnitus?
He's got him. Yeah, he's got it in both ears.
Yeah, that'd do it.
So I think you've got a good idea as to what the Imbued are supposed to be. Now let's talk about their history. Now, take a wild guess. What game in World of Darkness does our story start with?
I'm going to guess it's going to start with vampire.
You would think that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, typically.
No, this actually begins with the Kuei Jin story.
I mean, that is still vampire.
Yeah, they've managed to work this in. In the beginning, you had God, or however you want to refer to him as, the Big G. And he looked at the world, he creates in 7 days, or whatever your creation myth you want to be, and the world is created. In order to run that world, he creates the Scarlet Empress and the... Let me make sure I got their names right. It's an Empress and a Dragon. So those are made. He takes the concepts of yin and yang, and he spins them, and he creates 2 different beings out of these concepts. And it's kind of funny because they're described to be man and wife in character. One is a dragon, and the other one is just a human woman.
So it's
that's just funny to me.
So it's Miles and what was her name?
Miles and Zero from our D&D game, yes.
Yes.
The Scarlet Queen, not Empress. The Scarlet Queen, that was her name. I knew I was getting it wrong. Yeah, the Scarlet Queen and the Ebon Dragon are made. And what they are, it's a little ambiguous, but the way they're pulled into Hunter the Reckoning, it's kind of sort of implied that they're angels. That's what they are. So you take Demon of Fallen and you take it a step further. That's the level of power we're talking about. And they look around and see that man has been created. The dragons and gods used to rule the world, those being the demons of Demon of Fallen and the Dragon Kings with the Makole. So that's how it ties in. And as we know, they both lose their power. The gods in question, the demons of Demon of Fallen, they all fall and they're dragged into hell where they are tormented. In the case of the Dragon Kings, it's the worm, who is not the Ebon Dragon. The worm comes in, launches the meteor, almost kills Gaia, and kills off the Dragon Kings and their civilization, thus creating room for the Age of Man, where humanity themselves come into play. But before the worm really had the Triad, he had his Yama Kings. They, to my understanding, predate the Triad. And the Yama Kings are going around leading people astray. There's not a serpent in the Garden of Eden, there are serpents, plural, that are going around leading people astray. Humanity begins to listen to them, and a Scarlet Queen and Ebon Dragon realize that the world is going to become nothing but wickedness and suffering. So they go down, they bless the Immortals, the people that would soon rise up and become the Wan Xian, the very, very early Kuei Jin. They fight, they push the Yama Kings back into the Hells, and manage to save the world. But with that power, the Immortals only replaced the Dragon Kings. The Yama Kings, sorry. I had the Macaulay on my mind for a minute. They only replace the Yama Kings and become just as wicked as them. And then the Scarlet Queen and the Ebon Dragon are trying to find out how did this happen. It's that the Yama Kings are very persuasive, and their whole ethos is better to reign in hell than serve in heaven. And at this time, Lucifer wasn't around to explain to humanity, follow me and I'll be God where God has failed, and then become the Lucifugians. No, not the Lucifuge, the Demiurge in his own way instead of the worm. But the worm beats him to the punch. So Lucifer can't control humanity, the Weaver loses control, the worm loses control, Gaia loses control, and the worm technically wins. And, well, people would rather listen to the worm than to God himself. So this is the vengeful God of the Hebrews version that you see in the Old Testament. He turns his back on humanity and leaves for who knows where. The Scarlet Queen and the Ebon Dragon follow. And now there is no God leading the world of darkness. He has left you, and you have been left with the Wild, the Weaver, and the Worm. Or Gaia herself. Or the day the mages finally learn about the 10th sphere, the God particle, the Aether, and rise to godhood, you're stuck with those 4 gods as your god. Wonderful, right? And this goes on for 10,000 years, well, technically 12,000 years because of the BC stuff. So, yeah, that's it. The world just gets progressively worse and worse and worse as decades go on. And this is where I'm going to pause the Kuei Jin story because I would love to go more in detail with the Kuei Jin in their own episode. So this is the last time you hear about people being directly empowered by the gods or God. This goes into the year 2000, where either God himself, the Scarlet Queen, or Ebon Dragon realize that something needs to be done. The wormwood is in the sky, the red star, and it's about to be the apocalypse. So one of those 3 begins the system of the messengers, where you are sending literal angels, like the angel Gabriel, down before the common man, and you are explaining to him what the masquerade is, what the veil is, you give him the god powers, and then you kind of sort of override their mind in a way, to where, well, when God himself appears before you and tells you to do something, you do it. You're not going to say no to that.
Typically no, unless you're very stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you're Jonah and you keep finding an excuse to get around it, and he has to bring in a giant fish to convince you otherwise. And yeah, you remember that story. And now we have the plot of Hunter the Reckoning. You hooked so far?
Yeah, the world's ending. Time to recruit some people to make the world not end.
And this is the reason why I love Hunter the Reckoning so much. Because, yes, God himself is technically behind the project, but this is humanity taking their lives back into their own hands. This is why I say Hunter the Reckoning is such an uplifting game, because for ages, you have been under the thumb of the Worm, the villain of the World of Darkness. You can also say the Abyss, but the Worm is a greater and more active threat. You are taking your life back into your own hands. No more will the Chimera control your life from the shadows. No more will werewolves vouch for your own genocide and corralling. No more will mages try to force their own ideology onto you. You're taking your life back into your own hands. You're creating a world for people and people only. And this is such a beautiful story to me. This is why I love Hunter Reckoning so much. Hello, Eden. You've joined just in time.
Hello, Eden.
We are talking about Hunter the Reckoning. We have just talked about the Quay Jin connection. And now we're talking about what hunters actually do in the year 2000. Eden, do you know about Hunternet? Or VengeNet? It goes by two different names.
Last time I read a Hunter book was
A while.
2017.
Yeah. So, God has his own website in the World of Darkness.
Jesus God.
Sorry, what?
God has his own website in the World of Darkness. Yeah, that was him trying to prevent me from telling you about it. It's supposed to be a secret. And it's called Hunternet, where... Do you remember that Reddit conspiracy about Lake City Quiet Pills and how it was this assassin website and then the whole thing got proven to be a hoax?
Wait, the what website?
The Lake City Quiet Pills. It was supposed to be... The hoax was that it was an assassin website where they were using codes to do hit jobs, assassination jobs, and then it was proven to be a hoax.
Oh, so kind of like that movie Wanted.
Yeah, so this is like City Quiet Pills if it was real, where it's an assassination website, where it's all these people that have been awoken by God that go out onto the internet and exchange information. You go into Hunternet, there is this massive dossier on what they know about vampires, werewolves, and mages. But given that they were relatively new to the meta plot, not that much information was on there. I'm going to say in the year 2024, there's a full archive as to what these creatures are and how to deal with them. And given that Hunters were made, the Imbued were made as a direct response to the Red Star, yeah, the apocalypse is drawing near, and it's going to be a pro-human apocalypse. Everything else is going to die except for the people.
You know what? That's fine.
The thing about it is, only hunters can access this website. You have to have the god power in order to type in the URL. If you type in Hunternet and go into it without being imbued, it just leads you to a random website.
It's just a 404 error.
Yeah, you have to be imbued in order to access it. Now, there are cases where Glasswalkers and Nosferatu have gotten hunters to open the website for them, and those werewolves and vampires have been cursed and killed later down the line for looking at the website. Whether or not it's the website directly killing them or the hunters being led to kill them, how much of it is the website having its own will, that's a little bit ambiguous. But regardless, only hunters can see this archive of information. It is led by God's one and only lonely programmer, Terry A. Davis. No, it's not.
God damn it.
You know that guy, right?
Yeah, he's the Temple OS guy, right?
Yeah, he's simultaneously a brilliant mind and a deranged mind at the same time.
I mean, all artists have to have some sort of insanity.
Yeah, if he just stayed off the internet, he would have lived such a better life. But, yeah, we have a Terry A. Davis. His name is Witness One, a.k.a. One Kim's son, who created God's website. I'm going to assume because he's a visionary, he's still alive. I'm just going to assume that he's, in the modern day, still alive.
Probably chilling with a bag of Cheetos and a bottle of Mountain Dew.
Yep. And he's got his own stats and everything. Let's see. Very human stuff, by the way. Strength 2, Dexterity 3, Stamina 3. His highest attribute is Charisma out of 4. And
base charisma.
Really middle of the road stats, actually. But yeah, he's got 9 points of willpower. And he's got some derangements. He's bipolar, like the serious kind of bipolar, where he flips on you in the middle of a conversation.
Okay. I mean, gotta suffer some sort of insanity after dealing with the fucking shit that hunters see
Do
all the
not
time.
tell people about your address, your real name, or anything like that. He insists that if you go on his site, you have your name be noun followed by number. That's what you do. So every named character in Hunter the Reckoning follows that naming convention. You also have do not abuse or threaten other hunters. I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it?
So Agent 47 is a hunter. Gotcha.
Kind of sort of. Hunternet is only a tool. Do not live on this website. We're not friends. We're coworkers. And reading about this stuff doesn't make you an expert on it. There's a difference between reading about fixing a car and having experience going in and fixing a car. There's a difference between those two things.
Yes.
I mean, you can tell me about what Brazil looks like, but have you actually been to Brazil? There's a difference between knowledge and experience. And that's a pretty easy way for a new hunter to die, with him just running out, assuming because he spent 48 hours on Hunternet, he automatically knows how to take down the Camarilla. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
So you're saying it's one thing to snap someone's neck, it's an entirely different thing to actually have the muscle memory to do it effectively and quickly?
Yes.
Right. See. Same thing with like swordplay, gunplay, everything.
It's like performing surgery. You gotta practice your cutting, or else you're not gonna be able to make precise cuts.
And the fun. My queen? No, I'm not. Okay, that was just when me and Adam were speaking at the same time.
Yep.
Let's see. Now, is there anything I'm forgetting? If you guys have got any comments about Hunter, bring it up while I look through the Storyteller's Guide to make sure I didn't forget anything. Let's see. I told you about the Wan Xian. Yeah, that was the original name of the Kuei Jin, the Wan Xian. Now, Kyle, you remember, those guys used to work with the Macaulay.
Yeah, a long time ago.
So we could have had a very different world had the Macaulay not turned their backs on the Wan Xian after they became the Kuei Jin. Like, you actually stuck around and tried to redeem the Kuei Jin.
Yeah, but I don't know if that would have worked, in all honesty, especially given just the pull of the power that the
Yama Kings.
That the Yama Kings left behind.
Yeah, because the Yama Kings are the villain of the Kuei Jin.
Yep.
And it's the whole thing with the Kuei Jin is that your soul is dead to rights between these 100 demons. You're resisting it for as long as you can, but eventually you're going to give in. And that's the whole horror behind it. Where all these games have a certain horror to them. There are some perks with being imbued, but I'll get into the horror about being imbued in a minute. The big thing about the imbued is that you're immune to delirium. You can look at a werewolf and you'll be just fine. So let that be a warning to everyone who plays Werewolf the Apocalypse and a human doesn't go into delirium upon seeing you. That might be a hunter that you're fighting, and he's about to smite you with fire from Mount Sinai.
So, where would on the delirium chart would that be?
Is
it like
straight
the
up immune
reaction?
Straight up immune.
Okay,
you
so
see,
I'm just looking at kinfolk for a second, and even kinfolk in the chart are mentioned that even they aren't blahs. So I'm just wondering, is that a blahs or a kinfolk like reaction?
See, no, this is no reaction. You see the man go into cross form before your very eyes. You just blink and go right to fighting him.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Now there is another kind of hunter that is talked about in Demon X, the Kuei Jin Hunters Hunted guide. They have similar powers to hunters, but they're not immune to delirium because they get their powers through mysticism rather than God himself. So that's the difference between the two. Along with that, stuff like presence and dominate straight up does not affect you. You cannot have your mind controlled if you're imbued. No, big perk, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yep.
That makes
Exactly.
fighting the Toreador that much easier.
Fighting the Ventru that much easier, because that's almost every tool in their arsenal out the window. The thing is, does that say Ventru have enough fortitude to survive your initial sword stab and the running speed to get away from you?
That's why you work with a team now, doesn't it?
The thing is with the Ventrue, though, is that they have all those connections. So you're going to have to look over your shoulder for the rest of your life after you take down the Ventrue. But at the same time, you knew the life you were getting into.
Or, don't get caught. Agent 47.
Exactly. Just do your business and then get the hell out of there.
Yep.
Let's see. What?
Post up outside of
else?
a Elysium or a Chantry with a 50 BMG and make quick work of it.
What else did Imbued have? You have your own little disciplines, Arcanoi, gifts, whatever you want to call it, but they call it edges. That's what you've got. Where these are little miracles you can perform that are fueled off of your conviction. How determined you are to save the world directly correlates to how powerful you are as a hunter. The stronger you believe that you are doing the right thing correlates to how strong you are. Now, granted, this is where the big downside of being imbued comes into play. Because of that, a lot of these guys tend to become super zealous and tend to lose touch with reality. To the point where you're so wrapped up in the hunt, you can no longer properly communicate with people. As in, your neighbor just withdrew all his money from his bank account, liquidated all of his assets, sold his house, and now lives in a tent in the woods hunting after the gangrel, and has cut off all contact with his family. You don't even know if he's alive or not. That's the level of crazy you can become as an imbued. Just how determined you become in your hunt for these creatures.
Well,
so, do you want to be imbued?
I mean, I probably couldn't have become either way, but,
No, I would prefer to be a Garu still.
You got God himself is now your enemy. That's a fun thing with the Garu. And
depends on who you go to now, doesn't it?
Technically, isn't God's the Garu's boss's boss?
Yes, I mean God did create Guy after all, along with the Weaver Worm and Wild. Thank you, Demon of Fawn, for clarifying that. Now, looking at this, I don't believe I'm forgetting anything that the Imbued naturally do. They don't regenerate. That's the thing, though. They don't have regenerative powers. So,
like I said, they're very squishy.
Yeah, if you get hurt in this game, that's a big issue, because you stay hurt for a while.
Don't get your leg broken.
Exactly.
Unless you're one of those people in the crossover novels.
Exactly. And Danston Murphy, friend of the channel, and he's appeared in some of our videos. He's a player in my Friday Hunter game. In the middle of a fight with a robot, a hit Mark IV, he got shot in the head. It went through his left temple. No, look at the side of his head. His right temple, right past his eye, destroying his ear, and partially damaging his brain. He's still feeling the penalty after that happened 2 months ago.
Did you have to roll the table of TBIs?
Yes, and now he's hopped up on pain medication where sometimes he says stuff that he doesn't mean to say.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. When you get hurt in this game, you stay hurt. Now, and along with everything else, now shall we go ahead and get into the bread and butter of why we're here, the edges and the creeds?
Yes, how do we kill shit?
Okay, so here is where your power comes into play. Doing a double check, making sure I'm not forgetting anything. No, I'm not. Okay, we can get right into this. By the way, one more thing. There's an extra background I get that I think if you're playing Hunter's Reckoning, you're going to want to take. It's called exposure, as in how much your character knows about the Veil, the Masquerade, and magic before the events of the game take place. You're going to want to have a point in that, depending.
Yes.
No matter what game you're playing. Let's see. Look at this. Oh, while I was looking around for stuff, I found a little homebrew for Imbued in Hunter 5e. That's good. Let's see, do you... Taking a minute just to read this. Yes, you did kind of fix some of the issues I have with the game. Who wrote this? Who wrote this? This is a good supplement. Who? Oh, it's on the Storyteller's Vault. Batro and Supernova 999. Thank you so much for making that.
Can you post the supplement so I can show the good people at home?
let's see. Let me pull up. Let me pull up on. Let's see.
Throw it in studio notes
Awakening.
or studio pages.
Let's see. Let's go ahead. Let's post it. I was just like, there it is. There it is. There's the White Wolf link. $6. I think it's a little bit much for a 20-page homebrew, but okay. I mean, you did get artwork for it. Yeah, well. So there's the drive-thru RPG link if you want to click on that.
Yep. The Imbued, a character guide.
I'm glad there is a homebrew scene for this game. I'm glad that people still make fan content of this, because Eden, you're one of those people. You made the Breeder Banes. You're yet to put that to print, but yeah, that's a thing you're making.
Yep.
We're about to use that in the Hunter game.
Wait, you are?
There's we introduced a Black Spiral Dancer that's got a little certain power.
Right. Right, I remember.
I think I know who that is. I'm not going to bring it up, but I think I know who that is.
And look at this. Okay, now we can talk about the creeds.
Yes.
We have 3 categories of 3. You break these down as mercy, vision, and zeal. Those are your 3 heavenly virtues. And depending on which one you get, it is based on how well you handle the news of what you are. We will begin with mercy, as it is the first one to pop up in these books. Now, what can you guess mercy's going to be?
I forgive you, my son.
You're not far from the truth. Okay. We have 3 categories: the martyrs, the redeemers, and the innocent. Now, going on the lines, with the Mercy Creed, you are showing mercy to your... Well, that's self-explanatory, but you're not bloodthirsty. You acknowledge that a lot of these people used to be human. If you're up against a Fomori, you know that at some point that used to be a normal man, but he ate too many cheeseburgers, or he put too many layers of makeup on, or he just worked for the wrong company, and now there's a demon possessing him running the show. That guy's gone. Cry for him once he dies, because that's a soul that got stolen away. That's what you do with the mercy. You're not bloodthirsty. You don't take adrenal pleasure in being a hunter. You're doing this because you have to. You have to save the world. You know that there are terrible, terrible forces at play. You have to stop it from getting worse. You have a lot weighing on your shoulders when you are part of the Mercy Creed. In our game, we only have 1 Mercy Hunter. I run a Hunter game on Fridays. And Danston Murphy originally selected Visionary, but then I looked at the way he was playing and I realized, you're not really playing a Visionary, you're playing a Mercy Creed, is what you're doing. So, made a few modifications with this character, realigned some of his edges, and now we've got the powers that he's looking for. I mean, looking at his character, he wasn't actually using the Visionary powers, he was using the Mercy powers more than anything else. So, it was a change that was for the better. And going down the line as to what the Merciful do, I'll let Eden take the first pick. Do you want to know about Innocents, Redeemers, or Martyrs first?
Redeemers.
Redeemers. You are looking at these creatures and knowing not all these monsters are evil. I mean, you look at a pit bull that just attacked somebody's 5-year-old kid. The pit bull didn't choose to be inbred. He didn't choose to be game bred and have his parents be brother and sister, causing him to have a stupid brain that causes him to just flip his shit and attack kids on the street. No, he could have been a sweet thing, but the circumstances of his existence drove him down the path he is. That's you when you are playing as a Redeemer. You want the creature you're fighting to repent for what he's done before you euthanize him, so to speak. Does that sound good to you?
Seems kind of harsh.
Seems kind of harsh. Well, you look at, say, who are you feeling sympathy for? The werewolves?
I'm thinking glasswalkers, the guys that are all cuddly with the humans.
Yeah, the glasswalkers, but at the same time, you've got Cockroach over the shoulders of the glasswalkers. Where this is a guy that, in Apocalypse, got in bed with Pentecost and sold out the world just because he thought he could get one over on the worm. I mean, if it wasn't for Cockroach, I'd have no issues with the Glasswalkers whatsoever. But
Second,
that
Children of
that
China.
that totem ruins the entire tribe. A Cockroach is a bad dude. He is a bad dude.
He really is.
And yeah. So if you could, I don't know, get the Glasswalker to quit being a Glasswalker, that would be the optimal thing to do. Just that corporate wolf, just tell him to liquidate his assets, donate to charity, or donate to Hunternet, and supply the hunters with the tools they need to fight the rest of his kinfolk, or other werewolves that have lost their way, like the Black Spiral Dancers, for example. Tell him to finance the hunt against the Black Spirals, and then everything's going to be fine with them. Now, granted, with you being the Mercy Creed, there are some hunts where you won't kill the quarry at the end. If they're truly penitent and agree to live the rest of their lives in solitude, you don't need to kill them. You can just go ahead, walk away. There's no need to fight the child of Gaia. He just wants to go and have his furry party in peace. There's no need to kill the COG.
Yeah, it sounds
Saying the
about
quiet
right.
part out loud.
You mean the corgis? As
Yeah, with all,
The corgi. I feel like that's a good unkind name for the child of Gaia.
they shake the rump just like the corgis do.
I was just wondering if they would pull one of those Planet of the Apes movies. I forgot which, but the humans had like pet apes that they would make carry stuff.
It's and like the reverse way around. The one with like Helena Bonham Carter, where she had like the sexy monkey makeup. That really weird one. Well, that came out the year 2000, I think. But
I don't think I've
wanna
seen
look
that.
up.
yeah, you just look at the COG and you acknowledge that, oh, these guys just want the Apis back so they can have their bovine muscle daddies and their big milky bull mommies, and they just want to live in peace fucking those all day. Then there's no need to go after the COG. And
Like we said, they're
terms
not
of your
peaceful,
power-
they're harmless.
yeah, the COG just scare them, just raise your arms and scream at them, they'll give up.
Yes.
Now, in terms of their power, some of these powers get a little bit ridiculous. let me pull up these edges for you. Let me go ahead and let me find them. It's hard to find stuff for Hunter Reckoning because there's no really organized site. Here we go. I found it. It's Wikidot, the same place like we get our 5e information from. Let's see. One of the things you can do with Redeemer at level 1 is that you get something along the lines of Dominate, where you're able to shout stop at somebody and they will stop their attack. That is one of the easiest things you can do to shut down an encounter. And that will save, I don't know, either you or an NPC or another player character from just out and out dying in a round of combat. That's just a very good power to have.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you go down the line with your Redeemer powers, you begin to realize that a lot of these are voice-based. I'm starting to think of, neither of you read Preacher, but I'm thinking of Preacher, where the main character of that book, Jesse Custer, had the voice of God, where he could just command people with his voice, and that was his superpower. It was Dominate, but you never get to roll willpower. He just tells you to do something, and then you do it.
Yes, I think I saw something like that in the novel.
You can also heal people by kissing them as a Redeemer.
Nice.
And yeah, so the Redeemer gets the nice powers. This is the nicest that we get with our powers. Just an overall just nice character with nice powers. Though the issue with the Redeemer is that you can end up becoming a little too empathetic. Your heart goes out to too many people. You think you can redeem the Zimichi. No, you can't. No, you can't.
They're not good people. They're just not.
Because you want to go over and you want to redeem the Zimichi. Have we forgotten that the eldest exists?
No, we have not.
No, we've got... Well, hello, goodbye, Dan. There he went. And... yeah, some of these guys you just can't save. Like, do you expect a Black Spiral Dancer to get on his knees and repent for what he's done?
Oh, you need
Do
to
you?
beat him in submission first, but you can probably get one of them to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that one in the River of Silver is probably the only one you will ever get to.
And is any member of the Nefadi going to lay down their spellbook and forgo their evil magic?
Probably not.
Is that ever going to happen?
No.
No. So some people you just can't reach, and a Redeemer doesn't want to admit that. That's going to be an ongoing flaw with your character if you make a Redeemer. You want to save everybody, but that's just impossible. You're not playing Undertale, dude. As much as we would love to live in Undertale, that's not possible. And let's see, who's next? Kyle, do you want to do Martyrs or the Innocents?
I'm kind of Martyrs sound pretty self-explanatory, so I'm curious about the Innocents.
The Innocents just want to, they're not really out to hurt anybody. They only hunt as a reaction to stuff going wrong. You look around at the world, oh, there's a vampire over there, oh, he's from Clan Salubri, he has to draw blood, but he heals people. It's kind of shady, but he's fine. Oh, that vampire over there, he's got his own little devil cult, oh no, we gotta fix that. Especially if, say, that devil cult is beginning to directly affect you. This is a very reactionary kind of hunter. If I'm to make a comparison, it would be something like there are the judges later down the line, but I think L from Death Note would be a good comparison, where L only ever shows up to a paranormal investigation like this when stuff goes really wrong and the police have already failed. You're here because you're the last resort. You're the only man with the tools that can solve this issue. You go in, you do it because nobody else can do it. So, with the Innocents, a lot of their powers involve just not getting in combat whatsoever. Such as the level 1 ability, which Danston is currently using in our game, Hide.
Speaking of,
Which, yep, Dan, you just used Hide in the game. We're talking about Hide as we speak. Where that will just... Yep, that just removes you from combat for a minute. It's a lot like Obfuscate in a lot of ways. But it's more like a creature just forgets you're there. It's like pulling the Jedi mind trick of, these are not the droids you're looking for. That's what Hide does.
It doesn't
Then
use stealth, which is kind of weird.
It's all occult and alertness, perception and alertness. That's what it is. Next you get Illuminate, where you know the light spell from D&D. That's what Illuminate pretty much is. Yeah, that's what it is.
And that's it.
Cool.
Now, Dan, keep this in mind. That enemy we're currently fighting in Hunter, been taking Setite blood. You might want to keep Illuminate with you.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot that is one of their clan banes.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking of using fire to illuminate, but I mean,
that works too.
It is a church, and I didn't want to upset Father Evergreen, so.
I mean, just go ahead, pick up, I don't know, a torch off the wall, and then just use Illuminate on it, let the whole room. That's a ton of dice are losing from shielding their eyes,
I mean,
leading to somebody sneak up right behind them.
Remind me again, we're fighting a werewolf, though, right? Not a Setite.
A black Sparrow Dancer who's been taking Setite blood.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a hell of a combination.
But a ghoul is not susceptible to fire, though. So how that... I mean, like...
Not fire... Well, at the same time, this is a werewolf at the end of the day.
Unless they have Master of Fire as their...
do they? Looks around room suspiciously.
Yes, that's the thing, though.
Now, Dan, here's where it gets crazy. Because the Innocent, even though they aren't looking for fights, you have the fire of Mount Sinai at your fingertips with the Innocent. Because your next ability is Radiant, where anytime a creature attacks a radiating target, you bless yourself with this. They gain increased difficulty to their rolls attacking you. This eventually culminates in level 5, where you just shoot holy fire out of your fingertips.
What?
Yes, you can just set a man on fire. You shoot the white flames out of your palms and instantly end the encounter.
Okay, and this is a
Mercy.
Sorry, what? Mercy. This is Mercy.
Mercy. Behold, as you might look soft, you might look passive as the Innocent, but you might be the strongest character at the table.
I mean, at this point, if you're at level 5, you're already kind of like
pretty much Jesus Christ by this point.
I mean, it's already the end of the game, right? It's already at the end of the chapter, right?
Yeah, you are fighting Methuselah and elders and possibly antediluvians by this point.
Okay, yeah. So you're at Christ level.
Yeah, I don't think our game is going to reach that point, but yeah, some of these powers get super strong.
I mean, I'll take it if you'll give me these.
And
I'm pretty sure I didn't take his mercy though as my virtue though. So
see, and the thing is with the innocents is that there is some difficulty with playing as them because they're very reactionary. You're not going out looking for fights. Sometimes you need to get off your ass and actually go out and be the change you want to be in the world. You can't wait for danger to come to your door. That's the issue with the innocent.
Right. Okay.
And next up is the martyr. You ready to hear about the martyr? Because you pretty much are trying to be Jesus Christ by this point.
Oh, I wasn't before?
No, you weren't before. The martyr wants to die. They want to die in combat. They want their death to be remembered. They want to go out in style. They want to go throw their hand on the blade. Yes. Step out in front of the moving car. Step out in front of the bullet. Step out in front of the bomb, and save whoever they're saving. And they want to be remembered forever in death, not just for their allies, for their valor, but also to their enemies. That we're coming for you. We're not afraid to die. We're ready to fight you. But at the same time, what was that lyric from Hamilton? Dying is easy, young man. Living is harder.
So it's kind of like the last stand of Frey, right? When he confronts Surtur, right?
Yeah,
well,
exactly. And
he knows he's gonna die, but he kind of has to fight anyway. You know,
it's a lot like say an ongoing issue with the Ephemeris, where let me wait for my ping to settle down for a minute before I tell about this. Where the Ephemeris have a bit of an issue with the whole Valhalla deal, where they will just go out into the middle of battle against impossible odds and expect to win when that's not always the case. Now, is it?
It really isn't.
I mean,
sometimes it's better to seek the better side of valor.
Fates have plans for me. Fuck! I want to be in Valhalla.
Exactly.
Right?
I mean, that's how they fall in the Apocalypse book. They all went into Malpheus at the same time to fight the Black Spirals, not caring that the worm was waiting over their head with a giant corruption hammer ready to smash the entire tribe.
Pretty much. I mean, like...
Yeah. So the same issue
does Gogol
you have with the
that too, or no?
He survives because he's not part of that attack.
Most based Get Ephemeris ever.
Exactly. We love Gogol Fangs first. We need to get a shirt that says that.
We stand Gogol Fangs on this channel.
If he's anything like that that character from the Apocalypse Now, what's that General Commander?
Oh yeah, Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore.
Yeah, if he's anything like that.
I don't know. Kilgore's a lot more smiles than Gogol. Gogol's just like a really quiet, reserved, just sort of.
He's the Doom guy.
No, because he's not as bloodthirsty as Doom Guy. He's closer to a William Blazkowicz than anything.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, so here's my theory. And this has actually been this is actually like a plot in in Caravans of Power book for Germany, by the way. But I think Gogol Fangs first could have actually ended the war a long time ago, but he's actually put seeds in place to actually elongate the war.
Military industrial complex.
Because he just wants to fight more and more and more.
Yeah, what are the Ephemeris going to do when the worm dies? What are they going to do?
Exactly, because that's actually a plot in one of the it's the Karens of Power book. I was reading in. It was reading in on the German Karen. But that's one of the plots was that they actually is that there's
they're running out of shit to fight.
Yeah, so they don't kill all the vampires because if they did, then they wouldn't be able to fight.
Well,
there'd be nothing left to fight anymore. So
I think what you ought to do, Ged, is after you kill all the things, you ought to make like Beowulf and you drink the mead and sing the songs and enjoy the fact that everything's awesome for a minute.
Just go ahead, just buy your house on the lakeside that's got 9 bedrooms, and Christmas will be at your house every year, and you get to just sit on the beach, kick your feet up, drink a Corona, and then that's it. That's it. That's all you gotta do.
Yes. I didn't understand what's so hard about this.
And
That
you were
is
saying,
how Fenris roll. They will train you, they will prep you up just so that they can have a very good fight when they fight you.
Sounds like the orc in 40k with old one eye.
yes, thank you for saying that.
Well, what's going to happen if we kill all the peoples we fighting? Well, then we won't be fighting no more. Well, we can't have that. We got to keep fighting.
Like what's going to happen after the orcs kill Yarrick? I mean, that's the best human that ever lived. They're not going to enjoy any more humans fights after Yarrick.
Oh, that's his name, not one eye. Shoot, got it wrong.
So with martyrdom,
And so suddenly
martyrdom, Dan.
Sorry. We'll go off topic. We'll go back to martyrdom. Yes.
With demand, by definition, what you do with that power is that it's pretty much compelled duel from D&D. You willingly throw yourself out in the crossfire and demand a duel with whoever you're fighting. You can already get an idea as to how crazy and bloodthirsty your character's going to wind up being. And then next up is Witness, where let me just read out what this does. The Edge expands upon the capabilities of a Second Sight. A creature that seems wrong with Second Sight, but not in a perceivable way, is revealed to your character. The monster's horrific sight is made clear on a successful Perception and Mercy roll difficulty 6. To your character's eyes, the creature's most horrific aspects flash upon your face, and this sight persists for 10 minutes for each success. If you're getting vibes of Heart Drum, the Wendigo gift, this is what this is. Where pretty much you lock onto a creature and you don't forget who that creature is. If they try obfuscating or any sort of stealth power into a crowd, you don't lose sight of them. You know where they are. And and the Vision House, and it has aftershocks too, because you remember that creature next time you see it.
And this is Vision, not Zeal.
No, this is still Martyr.
Oh, this is
this is like super Hunter's Mark, what that power is.
Okay, so this is by design.
Is it? And then that continues on until we go to Payback, where if you want a power that turns you into the ultimate jihadi, that's the kind of power you're looking for.
Jesus Christ.
By the way, unfortunate implication with this book. Keep in mind this was written right around the time of 9/11. So something that aged well with World of Darkness. Yeah, I'm surprised.
No, it was
in the good old days after 9/11.
Yeah, there actually are suicide bomber hunters in this book.
Hey, they did the research. They knew Operation Desert Storm happened.
Well, that was great. I guess you can't fuck it. I want to see you try to do that shit again. Good luck, man.
You legit have martyr hunters that strap bombs to their chest, run into entire vampire havens, blow the trigger, and then there's like cobalt mixed in with the bombs. So you become a walking nuke that destroys the entire Elysium.
That's kind of funny, actually.
I mean, I can write up like a whole bunch of character sheets and just.
They're all Jensen has just like a stack of character sheets, and they're all suicide bombers.
See, Dan, I wonder what you're going to do with this character.
So,
I promise, John, I won't make another suicide bomber. JK, lol, click.
So tell me you're not going to play a divination wizard in the next D&D game.
Yeah. So, if I can like make so like you play Diva, right, in like D&D, because they reincarnate, right, and they have the same souls, right? So like if you add that, so and then you add this some other things, so you go in, you're a suicide bomber, but every single time you die, I just make a new character sheet. And I just have a stack of character sheets, and I can just use that to kill anything that comes in my way.
Now, remember to wear the sarcophagus around your penis before you actually detonate yourself. Did you not hear about that?
No.
There was a suicide bomber that put a concrete sarcophagus around his penis and balls, so that when he ended up in the afterlife, he would at least have his cock and balls.
That's kind of.
I mean, at this point, it really, like your soul is not ready to go to heaven. Like you have work to do on Earth,
Yep.
right?
You're going to be in the Wraith Shadowlands, and it's just going to be like a puddle of blood with a penis and testicle sticking out of it.
Like I can see like Saint Peter, like Saint Peter just like getting like pissed off. Like, are you sure? Like, no, hold on. I have work to do. Just like put me down there. There's more vampires I want to kill.
Show
my
me
God,
the virgins.
No.
damn
Virgins can wait. Virgins can wait. I need to kill more vampires. Send me down. Send me back in.
He's like,
Put me into the body. I don't care.
See, shall we do Zeal next?
yes.
Let's do Zeal.
So Zeal, this is easy enough because you see a monster, it dies. No questions asked. You're not sparing people with the Zeal. When you go into battle, you make sure they stay dead when you go into battle. Our two of our players, Rob Red, friend of the server, and Fox, who you probably will never meet unless you want to check out Yarnball Gaming, but he doesn't upload to that channel anymore. And they're both playing Zeal Hunters. And let's begin with what Gabriel Johns is in our Hunter game, the Defender.
Okay.
Or at least I'm pretty sure he's the Defender.
There are no shelter from those who oppose the Imperium of Man.
Now take a wild guess as to what these people are about.
They
Sorry, I'm
defend.
still thinking for the suicide bomber thing.
You're still on that? As what the Defenders do is that they put themselves between humans and the supernatural and say, if you want a piece of them, you have to go through me first. You are an active garrison going out looking for fights, putting yourself in dangerous situations on purpose because you can't bear the thought of what's going to happen to these innocent people if these monsters get their hands on them. That vampire is not allowed to feed. That werewolf cannot check you for sense worm or make you his kinfolk by force. That mage can't use your dreams for a spell. You gotta intervene with that. That's what the Defender does.
They're kind of like the human guinea pigs of like the humans, right? They're trying to test. Well, okay, what can the human body like take against the supernaturals? You know, okay, so you can only suck only this amount of blood within a certain amount of seconds or some shit like that. You know, They're doing like the math. You know.
Yeah, you gotta make sure that these guys aren't going to go out and kill somebody. But even so, like we said, the Salubri can be nice, but they still need to drain blood for their healing power. So how good of a creature is that?
I mean, who cares? It's all about what their because all they care about is like how they affect humans. They don't care about the diablery. That's their business. It's all about what they can do to humans.
No,
right?
no, not after the soul-sucking business. I mean, as a vampire, your nature is that you still need to feed no matter how good of a person you are.
Right.
Yeah. So nobody is innocent as far as the Defender is concerned. And the way Rapid has been playing Gabriel in our Hunter game, he's on the money with the Defender. He's doing this perfectly. Where
okay.
I will commend Rapred for that. It's like whenever he commits to a role, he fucking nails it.
Exactly. It's so funny seeing him go back and forth between Autumn Leaves in our live play and Gabriel Johns in the Hunter game. Those two characters could not be further apart from each other.
Yeah, I know. Just the fucking vicious animalist murderer that is Autumn Leaves. And then,
granted, they are the same level of brutal because one set-type ghoul that we hunted in the game, Rapid's character chased him down in the street after breaking his fingers and then gunned him down in an alleyway.
Based.
Man used the entire clip of AK-47 ammo on that guy.
As he should. Fuck the Setites. If you can't tell, I've got myself a bit of a vendetta.
You begin the game.
I was probably absent for that because that sounds awesome.
You were.
Yep.
Adam, were you saying something?
No.
Okay. We begin the Defender with probably the most useful power in the game, Ward, where it just makes it so a creature cannot approach you or a designated spot you point at.
But that's what Gabriel was doing that last game.
Yeah, he does that. So behold, because he used that black spiral cannot attack him after he did that
Oh,
with melee.
I wish he knew he could.
I-
I wish he could
I
told
mean,
me he
we're-
could do that.
We're fighting him in a church. That black spiral can still pick up a pew and then launch it out like a missile.
True.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of taking. It's just a matter of taking cover. You know, when you put the ward on like maybe a tank, and just like
and you could do that and just metagame that. You
And
do
just
have
maybe
5
huck-
in resources. You can go ahead and purchase one.
and just maybe huck a couple missiles at him. Wait till he gets tired.
See. Next up is Rejuvenate, where that's as close as you're going to get to full-on regeneration. But it
Is-
only works on bashing damage.
I see.
It's
mean-
it's Mother's Touch at home.
I mean,
If it works, it works.
great.
See.
I mean, good for a bar fight, but like when you go into real world where you're fighting vampires, not so sure.
I mean,
you
does
fight
it
the
only
edgelords
heal
with all their
bashing
trench
damage?
coat-
Is that why?
Only feels bashing damage.
Cringe.
I mean,
And
that separates
next-
the men from the boys, right? Just the whether you're using
Or the men
fists
from the
or
mothers.
just the katanas and the edgelords.
let me tell you about the brand, where once again you're able to smite somebody and burn their skin like branding smite does. And behold, you've got a persistent wound penalty on you. Depending on how many successes you get, either goes from 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, or if you roll the mythical 9 to 10 successes, forever. You can just deal a wound to a vampire or werewolf that will never heal.
I think Wizards of the Coast is gonna make a lawsuit for that because I'm pretty sure that's actually a paladin spell right there.
Nah, we got the open game license for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until Hasbro sneaks that on us again, it's going to stay.
They
After
have
all,
the
White
money.
Wolf isn't exactly a company anymore.
They have the money. They could probably afford the lawsuit.
See, they're going to forget that they don't own the public domain like what Disney did with Pinocchio.
Anyway,
See,
but it's basically a paladin thing. Gotcha.
see, and then we get Burn at level 5, Stamina and Zeal. So you remember that Daimonian ability, Conflagrate?
All I'm thinking of is just Ashton Kutcher and that 70 soldier saying, "Burn."
You say that when you strike somebody with it. This is you blessing a weapon and then casting aggravated damage with it. So, it doesn't work on inanimate objects, so you can't use it on the hit mark. But you can use this on anyone else. And this is your only access to full and aggravated damage before you pick up blessed weapons.
Well, that's kind of
And
really, geez, man, aggravated damage is really that.
yeah,
it's
that
really
hard to come across in this game.
It's really that out of reach for him. Is that really what separates like? Because
Yeah,
like,
hunters.
that's
Yeah.
what separates hunters from like monsters, just the aggravated damage. But as soon as they reach that threshold, then they become like glass cannons for everything.
Yeah,
for,
yeah.
like, the
You
monsters,
do
right?
what you do in Dark Souls, where you rub your hand across the blade and it catches fire after you do that, and then you smite somebody with it.
Like Dark Souls.
So you're going to see that where Gabriel Johns is going to grab his gun, it catches fire, and then he's shooting fire out of the gun.
Never played Dark Souls.
I only played it
It's
for like an
the,
hour.
I've never played Dark Souls ASMR.
No.
See, Eden, do you want me to tell you about Judgment or Avenger next?
Avenger.
Avenger. This is you going after the creatures because of the damage they've already done. The Defender is looking to make sure the damage doesn't get any worse. To the Avenger, the damage has already gone past the point of worst. There is no forgiveness for everything that these creatures have done. You are going out, you're making everyone pay for the years and years of pain. All vampires are equally guilty for the bodily wars. All werewolves are equally guilty for the Impergium. All mages are equally guilty for for discovering Awakening, and all the shit that happened with the Order of Hermes, the existence of the Nefandi, the Order of Reason. You're all guilty for each other's crimes. There's no forgiveness. To forgive is to forget. To forget is to forgive. You will never forget, and you will never forgive. That's what you do with the Avenger. This is the zealot amongst all of them. I mean, this is just you going into battle as the flagellante. No regard for your own safety. The candle that burns twice as bright only burns half as long. But the amount of damage you can deal with the vengeance, this is a powerful creed for you to take. But
if they had a spirit tome, it would be elephant.
to me, this is Billy Butcher from The Boys. The best way you can play this. Granted, Billy Butcher also makes for a pretty good Bruja, but this is it. Like, Homelander killed your wife. There's no coming back from that. All superheroes pay for what one of them did. And same thing with the Avenger, the same character flaws that affect Billy Butcher and the Punisher, and just the vigilante man in general, those will apply to your vengeance hunter. Because this is the hunter that goes insane from just how passionate they are and their hatred for everything that's supernatural. You will break connections. You will become vitriolic. You will become the most difficult person to deal with at your table. Because nothing gets between you and the hunt when you play as the Avenger.
Okay. Just gonna flip through here. Let's see what they're let's see.
But a good example?
Let's see. No. It's let's see. Here we go. Paladin. Let's see.
Oath of Vengeance?
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Oath of Vengeance. I'm just let's see. Oath of Vengeance is let's see. Oath of Vengeance is a soul commute to punish those who have committed a grievous sin when evil forces slaughter.
I would say the Vengeance Paladin is more like Goblin Slayer from Goblin Slayer.
Mm.
In terms of it, because
keep going. I'm just saying that I have a sharp eye just on this as you're
yeah. Because Goblin Slayer's an asshole. No, it just occurred to me. Guts from Berserk. That's a perfect example for the Avenger. Yeah. Oh yeah, where I can see Avenger hunters using the same tactics, like, I don't know, putting a little boy on a stick and then putting him in the middle of the Sabbat while they're doing the shovel heading process, so you can draw their attention to a target where you've already got your machine gun fire ready to aim.
Okay, so faced with the choice of fighting my sworn foes or combating a lesser evil, I choose the greater evil. Does that sound like the Avenger?
See, let's talk about their powers.
Okay.
See, we got Carl Contrarian over here. See, at level 1 you get Cleave, where all of your attacks just deal a flat +2 lethal damage upon blessing yourself with that.
Tight.
Do you get an extra? Let me guess. Do you get an extra attack after you kill one foe?
Not that, but let me bring up some of the weapons in this game. You combine that with some of the weapons you get absolutely insane damage values with this.
Wait,
because
does that mean you can just flick someone on the head and do 2 points of lethal damage to them?
2 points of lethal damage, yes.
That's
all of your
funny.
attacks deal all of them get just a flat +2 to lethal damage.
Just run up, do that, and then deck somebody in the face as hard as you can.
You make a joke about mute myself for a minute.
No, I'm quite literally that power on just like an unarmed fighter as Tony from Hotline Miami. That'd be so good. Step 1, just punch him through his fucking head.
No, I'm just thinking about you just go up to someone and pinch them and do 2 points of lethal damage.
Yep.
And everyone's just looking at the guy freaking out, wondering what the fuck's wrong with this guy as you just pinch him. And he's arms dying inside his shirt, no one can see it.
It's the whooshy finger hold.
Yep. So the guy just looks insane to everyone else.
I mean, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if in the book we see the weapons. You see one weapon that is 1d12.
That was just like a d12 of lethal damage.
As a ×3 crit.
What is it, the fucking Rescue Ranger from Team Fortress 2?
No, it's a straight copy from D&D.
Oh, yeah, right, honestly. I don't know, there is a mace in Baldur's Gate called the Light of Lathander, and I desperately want it. Even though I don't
I'm
know what
back.
it does. Hello.
Let's see. For fuck's sake, I got a ton of latency, don't I?
No, actually.
No. So I just discovered a bunch of fucking water damage in my house.
Oh,
Is
shit,
it
yeah.
still there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that sucks.
Funny
Yeah,
you should mention
fucking-
that. The alarm
Yeah,
on my phone actually just came off, and that's just waiting for paint to dry because I'm actually fixing my ceiling too.
See, it turns out our fucking water heater ruptured, and that was the issue behind it.
Oh.
So, yeah, that took up half the damn day. And okay, continuing with the Avenger. Number 2, you get Trail, where once again this is another version of Hunter's Mark. Smolder. Now take a wild guess to what Smolder does.
Reduced
Smiles?
to ashes.
Make someone burn from the inside out.
See, you create an incendiary cloud that begins to burn people in a 10-foot cubic square.
You mean square feet on the chart?
Yes.
Like 10 squares? Oh.
Yeah, like in terms of distance.
Oh, okay. Because when you said 10 cubic feet, I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty small.
But at the same time, that's like burning smoke that you're breathing in.
Yeah.
So
And
I don't know Warhammer 40k or whatever, but if I'm right, salamanders.
That is
Would
correct.
that be a? That is correct. Okay.
Now what this does is that it doesn't deal damage, but it will mess up your dice pool because you gain increased difficulty to everything you do in that cloud. 3 added additional difficulty to all of your rolls. So, don't stand in that. And then you get the Surge, where looking at the Surge, behold, you can just increase any attribute, strength, dexterity, or stamina, to 6 for the remainder of a scene.
Okay, no, literally, with Cleave, just punch through his fucking head.
Exactly, and some of the weapon damage values in Hunter's Reckoning get ridiculous. I was looking at the Wayward book, and oh my god, the weapons, it's lethal damage, but they're dealing just as much damage as a Garu Arun Claw Swipe. You want to know how much damage the chainsaw deals?
How much?
Your strength plus 5 in damage.
So, 5 strength hunter can deal 10 damage?
Yes, and 5 of those points of damage pierce armor and soak rolls.
Damn,
So-
I kind of want a chainsaw now.
Yeah.
Hold on. So, rewind. What was that weapon again?
Chainsaw.
And this does how much damage?
10 damage maximum.
Hoping no one pack a
Okay.
chainsaw. What? A motherfucking chainsaw. What?
If you want to do the Chainsaw Man Hunter the Reckoning game, here's your weapon and here's your creed.
I want to now. It sounds like so much fun.
Although
You would make a...
It doesn't even make
you
any
were saying-
sense.
I'd be a
I mean,
great
you were saying,
Genji.
You're saying,
The
Evan?
chainsaw doesn't do that much damage.
I mean,
See, Dan,
the
Dan,
armor
hold on a
pier-
minute.
the armor pierce doesn't really make much sense if the guy's wearing a plate carrier and you try to stab him through the chest with the chainsaw. You're actually
Well,
It's
but
not
this
even
is a-
lethal
this is-
damage.
this is a
It
blessed
doesn't
chainsaw.
penetrate. It just tears at your skin. That's all it does.
No,
It's a blessed chainsaw.
dude, a chainsaw can fuck you up real quick, dude.
Is that the...
Yeah,
when was
man.
the last time you were attacked by one?
I mean,
never-
sure. I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, I think
Let's do what
actually,
those YouTubers did with the Desert Eagle, and we put an encyclopedia in front of your chest. I come after you with a chainsaw. We see how long it takes me to cut through it.
no, hold on. Like, I know I'm going back to D&D again, but so like, what is that? Book of Vile Darkness. There are weapons that have unlocked a different type of damage. There's slashing, piercing, and
Bludgeoning.
bludgeoning. But when you're dealing with torture weapons, there's a new category called tearing. So instead of actually slicing, you're just actually tearing and You're just poking and like tearing the flesh off your body, and that's the kind of what a chainsaw does. It doesn't actually kill them. It's more a means for torture, really.
See, it's a torture saw. Let's see, let me pull this up. Yeah, so here you go. Here's the most powerful mechanical weapon in the game.
Yep, there you are.
A chainsaw. Just be Ash from Evil Dead. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, fucking.
See.
What happens if a guy who steals it?
Well, then it's over. It's over. The Gary Nation wins.
Wait, didn't your favorite character try to be Ash from Evil Dead? What was his name? Was his name Samuel Hyde? Was that his name?
Sam Hyde.
Samuel Hate. Get a shirt that says "I hate Samuel Hate."
What was that in your pocket? I just saw you put something in your pocket. What was that?
See, I just found fan art of the Doomslayer as a Chainsaw Man.
That's funny as shit.
There we go. So I think we found your next Hunter the Reckoning character.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna be Denji from Chainsaw Man.
You would make for a good Denji. You just think with your penis all the time.
He's just like me, for real, for real.
I'm just
and
waiting
that,
for the
and I
plot
say
hook.
youch when I get hurt.
I'm just waiting for the plot hook. You come across an ashtray. I'm just waiting for that hook.
And next up is Smite at level 5, where not only do you deal aggravated damage with your attack, you knock your opponent back in yards equal to your Zeal score.
Oh, I can punch somebody into a wall. Hell yeah.
You can put up to 10 points in that, so you knock a guy 30 feet back, aka 30 yards, 90 feet. As we have learned from Baldur's Gate, one of the best way to deal with enemies in a tabletop RPG is to just knock them off a ledge or knock them into something.
I think I did that during a one-shot I was playing as Luth and we were standing next to a chasm.
Yes.
Smash Brothers logic.
This is one of the best things you can do. You get the ring, you get the whole like ear-piercing screech sound with the red zoom in, and then they fly off the stage.
Yep.
You get a magic item where you get to see all the percentages from everybody. See their knockback percentages.
Game!
Next up is Judgment. Now, this is the one that Fox Kitty's playing as in our Hunter game. He's playing Father Evergreen. Catholic priest who has seen a little bit too much, has turned to alcoholism to cope with what he's seen, but this is what he is. He doesn't relate. He's going to go into battle, but he's not going to go in with the bloodthirst of the Avenger or the determination of the Defender. He wants to fully understand what he's fighting in order to make his fighting more efficient. He wants to know, why does it do this? Why does the Nosferatu have Obfuscate? Why does the Geru have the shapeshifting? Why does this mage have this spell? They want to fully understand what the enemy is and how evil they are. So you're forming a small list of priorities in your mind as to how quickly do I need to go after this guy when he appears.
I guess you could say they're more. I guess you could say they're more intimate kind of form of.
Exactly, which is why in our Hunter Reckoning game, Father Evergreen has that much information because he's a veteran hunter that has gone through multiple hunts, along with the sheer amount of points he's put into exposure, and him pooling resources with Bentley, another character, and that's why he knows all the stuff he knows about vampires.
Because he has dived dick first into.
Now, granted, there are clans he hasn't encountered yet. He's never fought an Assamite. He can't tell you about them.
Well, no, Assamites are scary no matter who you are.
Yeah. If I just wanted to end the campaign, I'd just send an Assamite after you.
I mean, you did that in the vampire campaign, and Ragnar blew him up.
That was the final boss of that game.
Technically, Jekyllstein was, but we had no idea that we could kill him.
There was a set procedure you had to do, and you didn't figure it out.
No, we tried, but we couldn't.
See.
Yeah, but basically, their thing is that they dive they're very intimate into what they kill, and they dive dick first into the occult to try and absorb and soak everything that they can from their enemy.
Yeah, you
Gotcha.
might not even kill it immediately. You might drag it back to your base and study it. You'll put a stake in the vampire's heart, and then figure out what can you do. Why does this happen? Why does that happen? That's why when we were playing, Father Evergreen wasn't on the camp of when we were fighting Jason Peterson. He didn't advocate for killing him. He suggested that we capture Jason and study what he is.
Yeah, it's like there's a thing of like, I gotta take it back to my dungeon. I want to slay you, but I want it too much, you know.
Yeah.
And
that's also why when we had the scene where you had him on the operating table and you were dissecting him, that Father Evergreen was with you, keeping track of what was going on. Until he decided it was time to drink.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, so Father Evergreen, he's a ghoul. Oh, damn. I got him.
Yeah, he's a ghoul. The Zamichi put a parasite in him. It took over his small intestine. Okay, good. I saw it in the I'm going to my liquor.
Oh, Father Evergreen?
Yeah, Father Evergreen did that.
Oh, right. Yeah, he got infected. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
We fixed that? I was absent for that. Oh, shit.
No, Jason. No, that parasite replaced his small intestine. He's stuck with that forever.
Huh. Oh, shit.
Yep.
Well,
now,
I mean,
but don't worry.
Helping him.
Yeah, don't worry. You got Zamichi Ghoul as an ally now.
I mean, it's kind of like that episode from Futurama, right?
yeah. Pray that you don't find the guy that gave him the parasite. He'll
be stronger and flexible than Gumby and Hercules combined. Gumbercules? I love that guy.
You've got discern. What?
I feel like, having it quite literally, you have just like the flood in that guy with the parasite. That guy is the fucking grave mind. I don't think you want to do.
I can send you a picture as to what he looks like.
I don't know. Okay, just so the folks at home know what the hell's going on.
Yeah. We're doing a 1-minute pause to the episode so we can show off one of our targets for Hunter the Reckoning. Yes, images AI generated. Let's see. This is Jason Peterson in our game, a Zamichi ghoul that wanted to be a superhero, so he got a parasite dropped down his throat, and he became this.
Oh, that's actually kind of fucking cool looking.
Yeah. Very Image Comics based.
Yes. He looks like the Hulk, and he is like a fucked up Superman logo, but he's got Zod's fucking cape.
Yeah.
So this was from the source book of Rage in Australia, or is this your own thing?
That was an OC.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Very creative.
Let's see. So, with the Zamichi, you can just go hog wild with them. We begin with Discern, where it's very similar to the Visionary power for C, but it gives you an edge up. It gives you insight as to how you're supposed to fight whoever you're fighting. It says, say, you get a second sight, you figure out that, this creature isn't breathing, it must be a vampire. This creature looks like this, it must be a shapeshifter. This creature has no death marks on it, it must be a spirit. It must not be a spirit. Or, this bloodsucker has very large muscles, he must have, think of the discipline, potence, that's what it is. That's what you have with Discern. It tells you game mechanics in a way that feels natural based on your success. It's the super insight roll, is what it is. Next up is Burden, which just immediately stops a creature from moving. You just freeze the man by pointing at him. to brutally simplify what it does.
Hold person.
Exactly. And we go down the line until we get to Expose, where behold, that's a veil breach you're not coming back from. Where what you do is that all normal people around you, you give them a little bit of immunity to delirium, and you just expose this creature to, say, a 15-foot, 50-foot, city block, acre, or 1 mile radius becomes aware of that creature. So yeah, the veil has been breached, the masquerade has been breached, you're not coming back from that.
That's just funny.
And then a blood hunt will be initiated, or an exile will be placed, and the hunt will solve itself. We don't need to do anything.
Yep.
And we can do the good old days of the Inquisition, where we can get the angry mob to solve the issue for us. You got issues with the werewolves, just expose them, get the mob on it, and then burn the forest down with the werewolf in it.
Yeah, but wouldn't
There we
that
go.
open it
That's-
up for the worm, and then that's a whole other fucking issue you got to deal with?
Yeah, you find out that this was in the PS2 games. You hunt a werewolf in one of those missions, and Fringe horror for everyone who plays werewolf, you just directly aided the worm in killing that werewolf.
You didn't
Oh,
think
don't
that
worry,
through,
you'll solve
did
the
you?
issue. You'll solve the issue down the line on a different hunt. But we never did get a fourth Hunter game.
Didn't you buy one when you
And-
came up to visit?
Yeah, I got the good one. I got Wayward.
Yeah, it's like. So have you played it yet?
It's got more content in it compared to the other two.
Okay.
It's like Gauntlet if you ever played Gauntlet.
Yeah, I play Gauntlet.
Yeah, it's like Kingdom Hearts if I had less combat options.
I missed almost all of that. Sorry, I was kind of focusing on my ceiling right now, and like I'm just.
We're talking about the
wondering
Hunter
just kind of
PS2 games for a minute.
I'm sorry.
You
I-
could be.
We talk about the Vision. The last virtue we have to talk about, the Vision, where these are the leaders, or at least the people that think they're leaders. As in, there's only one playable Vision virtue, and that's the Visionary. These are the leaders of the hunters. You have an idea as to what the world is going to look like after the hunt's done. You know what you want the world to look like. You have the pro-human future laid out before you on a chalkboard, and you know what you want it to look like. You go out, you've got your pen, you've got your paper, you're already involved in something to rebuild. And you're not just like the Zeal or the Mercy. You're not living in the now, you're living for the future. And when this hunt is done, you've got a plan as to how we're going to proceed. So these are the people that get shit done at the end. Behind every soldier, there's a president who's willing to rebuild and take all of your oil and exploit your resources.
Real.
Isn't there a camp? Isn't there a camp in Children of Gaia that does that?
There might be. Which one are you thinking of?
The one that says that fuck you, we should be the leaders, and
Well, that's
like
Children of Gaia in general.
oh, okay.
It's also
I'm pretty sure this one
Shadow
that's like,
Lords, Stargazers.
I mean, like the Shadow Lordy kind of like the ones that are being like all secretive about being like
I think the one you're talking about is the Anointed Ones. I think that's what you're talking about.
maybe. Oh wow, they already sound like they're big nosed.
They named themselves
They're
after Jesus
snobby.
Christ. Of course they are. So the Visionary, we'll take a wild guess. You have support-based skills. You have Foresee, where this is you using telepathy. This is you using clairvoyance to track down and figure out what's going on. To go down the line, we have a player in our Hunter game that uses this. Larry Cooper, who's played by Normal Square. He is yet to appear in an episode, and I don't think he will because I don't think he wants to be in front of the camera.
I understand.
Where that's fine. Yeah.
They are the Matisse of the Captain Planet and the Planeteers.
Where what Foresee lets you do is that it lets you partially predict the future as to what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen if you botch a roll, if you succeed a roll, you know what's going to happen ahead of time. So
that's mine. That's what I want. I want to be the plot hook. Just tell me where to go.
Yeah, you do have that edge already.
I mean,
see,
which one is that? The second sight?
No, Foresee. That's what you already have.
Really? I'm pretty sure I don't.
Yeah,
I have hide and second sight. That's it.
You have just never used it.
Where? I never put it on my character sheet.
You've never used it.
I've never seen it on my character sheet.
You have Roll20 open right now, right?
No. I'm looking at the ceiling.
I'm level 2. We've got Pinpoint, where this ability saved a combat encounter. So story involving this. That hit mark I mentioned before, we were in the middle of a boss fight with it. We were shooting it, we were slashing at it, it was dealing no damage to the hit mark. So Larry Cooper's character uses Pinpoint, and it points out the exact spot where to shoot, where to aim, where to attack on the creature. If this is you're fighting against Amici who's moving his heart around, This is where he's going to move it to next. You're fighting Alsamba, who's covered himself in shadow armor. This is the weak spot on his armor. You're fighting the hit mark. This is the weak spot on the hit mark. You need to hit right where his first vertebrae is. That's where his weakness is. It's the I can't succeed on my rolls, so I'm going to use this edge and make my rolls easier edge. That's what that is. Next up is Delve, where this is you becoming a psyker by this point, where you remove yourself from your body and you go out and you view a location with Delve.
Okay.
So, yes, now we begin to realize that this has a lot of stuff to do with aspects, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Let's see. It allows you to also see visions of the past as well.
Okay, now you're just a Malkavian.
See. Oh, sorry, I gave you the wrong thing. Augur lets you do that.
Question.
What?
Could you theoretically meet an Auspex vampire while in that phase? Just like
Yes.
randomly run into them, mistake them for Augur? Then immediately upon meeting them in real life when you organized it, realize they're a vampire and start murdering each other?
So, sorry about Delve. Sorry for a minute. We're not editing this out, so go back for a minute. I was accidentally telling you a hermit power. I'm sorry, that's not what Delve does. Delve lets you see the past. That's just what it lets you do. It lets you see the past. I was reading the wrong thing. I was reading the hermit power. I'm sorry. All right. And next up, you've got an active healing power in Restore. This is the one thing that heals lethal damage. You put your hands to somebody, you heal them for lethal damage. And then Augur, this is, to give you an apt comparison, pretty much you using the Nesis that the Macaulay have.
So, remind me what that does again?
So
you have the web of memories.
Yeah, you have the web of memories, but you can also go into the future with this power. You can see what's going to happen 1 or 2 years in the future.
Zonite.
So you're reading the Nesis before it happens.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, get one up on Macaulay doing that.
How does that work?
See, how does it work? It works through the power of God. That's how it works.
God is the fisherman. He sees the fish. He sees where they have been. He sees where they will be.
Okay. What I was reading before on Delve by accident was the power Send, which is from our next Creed, the Hermit. Now, this is what Bentley's playing as. I've told you about Gary's character in our Hunter game, how he's playing a character that never shows up physically in any scene. This is his Creed.
Okay.
And
okay.
What the Hermit is that you are somebody that could not handle learning about the Masquerade, learning about the Veil. You have become paranoid. You have no idea who's involved in a conspiracy. Anybody could be a vampire, anybody could be just given the vampire blood, and they could be ghouls. Anybody can be werewolf kinfolk, anybody can be possessed by the worm, anybody could be a mage, anybody could be a changeling, anybody could be a wraith using the body. I don't know who's who anymore. So you withdraw from society because you are the one person you can trust.
And that is what?
That's Bentley in our game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he doesn't trust us.
Yeah. He was already a tweaker beforehand. Now he's even worse.
He's Batman.
See. But with those powers, at levels 1 and 2, it begins with telekinesis with Reach and astral projection with Send. Let's see. Where you can just send words and images immediately to a person's mind with Send. You take it one step further with Edict, where you lock eyes with the target, where you this is kind of pointless with Bentley's character because he has to be with somebody in person. And you will give them an image of the messengers by doing that. You make a guy imbued with that power.
Oh, so they're fucking crazy powerful.
Just a guy? Or what about like a werewolf or a kinfolk?
Well, by that point, you've already got Gaia in you. There's no room for God after you've already become a dirty pagan for this long.
Oof.
But,
so you're Professor Xavier?
Yes, but they will know about the messengers, and they will know about the world around them. So, if you want to convince that flat Earth atheist Geru that God exists, you use his power on them.
God is in
And
heaven.
Interesting.
see, next up is Transcend, where you're removing your soul from your body and flying around with it for however long you get successes for.
You just decide to play Wraith.
Yeah.
Why are there more powers at this level?
And
We're
then
at level 125.
And then at level 5, you get Proclaim, where you become a messenger for a minute, and you just go out and decree the holy word with your astral projection.
I commendeth thee.
So yeah. And the way that Gary's playing this character in our Hunter game, he's a former member of Iteration X that left after he became imbued. And he is this hacker that's got a ton of points in computer science technology, who's already worked into every single camera and police network in the city. But the minute he runs out of power, he's got a backup with his astral projection and his telepathy.
That's kind of fucking tight.
So, behold, you can't out-network Bentley because he's too involved in everything. His webs run too deep. It's the fun thing about... It's what's really fun about seeing Gary make characters, because he always thinks so outside the box with his characters.
Yeah, he is really good at that.
Oh my god.
Where, you remember when we were playing Ghost of Saltmarsh and he made Misfortune?
Yes, his
And
finest hour, without a doubt.
Yeah, that character went in a direction that none of us were expecting.
Yeah, and then he became the time god of gray space.
And then we had Dusty Comments after that, and that was a character who was just as fun as Misfortune.
I love the hell out of Dusty. Dusty was so lovable.
Yeah, I don't think Gary's ever made a bad character.
No, he really hasn't.
He refuses to join the server though because he's reclusive, and I get it.
That's all good.
Ah.
We still love him.
You know what? I guess because he's playing to his character.
Yeah,
Very, very well.
There you go.
And lastly, you get the most dangerous out of all of them, the Wayward. Never interact with the Wayward.
They went.
You want to know
Weeball.
why? You want to know why?
Tell me.
Turkey thigh. Okay.
I hate you.
See, the Wayward is a character that you are not allowed to play as, but if you really want to, you are playing as the strongest hunter at the table. Where
But
you are pretty much playing as QAnon. You could not handle learning about the conspiracy, so your mission has become kill them all. It doesn't matter who they are. Anybody can be involved in conspiracy. Nobody can be trusted unless me. Everybody but me has to be purged.
Wow, that's a
everyone
very
sucks but me.
Is that you? So yeah, you are playing as the most dangerous and deranged character at your table because of that. So, Trevor Phillips from Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, I was about to say that is Trevor. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was gonna be my first thing I was gonna say.
Yeah, towards the end of the game, where he finds out that Michael Townley faked his death and how he did it.
Spoilers. I'm reached.
I didn't say how he did it, so don't worry. I mean, you find out that Michael Townley faked his death already. That's the first cutscene in the game.
Danston, have you not played GTA 5?
Okay, I had to. I was. Then I got. But then what happened was that I switched from my PS3 to PS4. I updated, and I couldn't switch over my games, right? And then I got a PC. I'm like, well, shit. I can't
And you're just plug in your PS3 and finish GTA 5?
I mean, it was all dusty at this point, and at this point, my I need a new monitor anyway, so I don't know. I probably should go back and finish it. Maybe
that game goes on sale all the time. You can get it for $9.
Yeah,
Probably.
Probably even cheaper than that.
Probably.
Anyway, the point is, before I get sidetracked, at this point, are you even good? Because you're
with the Wayward. Maybe not. You might be set to Nile by this point. You might be the Angel of Adversary.
You're Azrael, Angel of Death.
Yeah, exactly. And for some reason, the most powerful weapons in Hunter the Reckoning are in the Wayward book. That includes the 10 damage chainsaw. But along with that, a pickaxe, for example, is the second strongest weapon in the game, dealing just as much damage as a chainsaw does.
That's
Suddenly,
funny.
I hear Slayer in the background, and they're just like playing Rain and Blood album on loop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where
It's gonna be my
pretty
Chainsaw
much-
Man. That's gonna be my Denji playthrough.
Now, here's the thing. Very few of their powers affect themselves. Their powers affect other people. Such as the first power, Impart, which allows people to, I don't know, activate their second sight, activate their super insight, where you can just tell if somebody's a vampire or a werewolf without spending conviction, your mana points. You can just automatically tell if somebody's a masquerade breacher, if they're a vampire or a werewolf. And you can have other people find out too. Forewarn takes this a step further. Where pretty much that's you having a spider sense that goes off whenever anything dangerous is near you. Where yeah, you might have that that Nosferatu with Obfuscate. That's not going to save you from a Wayward. They will know where you are and will come after you with that pickaxe and chainsaw.
So, are they Weaver or Worm at this point? Because
God power.
There's no Weaver or Worm when God is in your soul.
This is God's power.
I mean, God was meant to create, not to destroy.
Is it, have you read the Book of Exodus, the plagues of Egypt?
That was in his heydays. Now he's kind of retired.
I don't know if God's
Now
retired.
he's back with he's back with the vengeance and Hunter the Reckoning.
Now his more chill son is just kind of like putting him back in the retirement home. His Vietnam days are done.
And now the red stars in the sky, we gotta bring back Jesus's plural.
Sins of the father, he has to clean up his meth. Okay.
See, do you want Enrage, by the way, their level 3 ability, which sends everyone around you into a frenzy? Specifically the hunters?
That sounds like fun.
See,
This is a human, not a werewolf ability.
a
right?
human, yes.
Okay.
But you fight with the same rage a werewolf has.
So,
See.
now,
Also, see, speaking of werewolves, you also get to step on the Korak's feet with Reap, where you gaze into the eyes of a dead body and their life story is laid out before you.
That's kind of fucking sick.
This
so
this power is an automatic success on vampires and ghosts. You can just use this power constantly on them.
man, can I just like have that power, but just be like a therapist, so I just like see their pain and then just like hug them afterwards.
See,
Like,
you get to
okay.
write down the world. You get to write down the vampire's entire life story before you chainsaw him.
Yeah.
No,
And then
I want to help them.
But
You're
here's the
not
thing:
going to. Bro. You're
I
not
want
their
going
level,
to.
I
their
want
level
to
5
touch
power.
them.
Their level 5 power has a very, very unfortunate name: Spiral.
The
Where-
dragon?
Somebody start playing the Nine Inch Nails music.
Now, here's the thing: you steal the worm's power, and you create wind that can be as strong as a tornado or a hurricane over a specific area.
What the
So-
fuck?
The end campaign button is what that is. You know, the worm, who can physically manifest as a storm,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
become the worm.
Something like
Cool.
And believe it or not, there's even crazier hunters out there.
Oh,
You want to
God.
talk about
Oh
the
my God.
extremist paths?
Well, may as well since we're here.
That's not extreme.
See,
Oh, no,
it
it
gets
gets
even
worse.
crazier. See-
Damien's having fucking Danson's having a fucking stroke.
Oh
Do
my
they only
God.
go crazier in one direction, like they need to kill more and more people, or do they go the opposite direction where it's like,
See.
I don't know, like, have vampires be like automatons in like a mine because they never need to eat or some shit like that? No, wait, that's not vampire. Sorry.
But by this point, you're thinking of the young bloods from Hunters Hunted, who are going out and drinking vampire blood so they can get ghoul powers.
No. More accurate example would be like forcing all the werewolves to work in an Amazon facility due to Amazon having the highest worker injury rates in the industry. Like that kind of thing where you just utilize all the supernaturals.
Yeah. That works.
Hold on. So that last ability, sorry to go back, but we just become the worm, and it kind of reminds me of like the winds of Neptune, where if a bomb was actually sent to Neptune, like their body would be destroyed by like the thousands of like shards of like diamonds.
Yes.
Like just like in shredding your body like a blender.
Yeah, exactly.
Before you come out, you wouldn't even reach the core, basically.
Yeah.
Jesus. And that you just become a storm. I am the storm.
I am the storm that is approaching.
Here's the thing for you. If you want to know about the extreme paths, pick up Fall from Grace. This is a very good Hunter Reckoning book that shows you what happens when the Imbued go evil again. Like we said, you might have God's power, but you can still fall. Because after all, that's what happened with the Wan Shan. They now exist to Kuei Jin.
Well. There's another
plot hook
path
for you.
Well, I actually just came across a new store where I'm living that's selling old World of Darkness books, and I just saw a rack of all the Hunter the Reckoning books, and I'll probably look at some of them.
Get your hands on those. So, in Fall from Grace, here are your extremist paths. We begin with Divine, where you remember that scene in Jujutsu Kaisen where Satoru Gojo flies up and says, "Through heaven and earth, I alone am the anointed one." That's you. You have You have a god complex with the divine. You are insistent that you cannot go wrong. You think that you might as well be the next Messiah, and that you are out to purge the world yourself. You take the Wayward, and you crank that up to 11, way further than the Wayward should be able to go.
I am the Alpha and the Omega. I am the terror that flaps in the night.
Now, to put this on a level of power, the Divine have been compared to have the same level of power as the Exalted from Exalted, who are gods in human bodies.
Yeah, I've heard stories about that.
Yeah, your belief in yourself has driven you to the point where you believe so strongly that you're a god, you have become one.
That's kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah, not even the Marauders do this.
Just a little excerpt to the audience listening of what Exalted is like. So, this was a story that somebody told me about Exalted. Apparently, somebody avoided fall damage by just attacking the ground. So that he.
What you do in Infamous, right? You just jump off the building and slam the ground with lightning.
Yeah, that's like in Tony Hawk Underground 2, where you just avoid breaking a combo by hitting the ground by getting off the skateboard in midair and then getting back on the skateboard.
He's basically parrying the ground.
He hits a backdash.
He just used that ability to avoid fall damage.
I just hit an iframe on impact.
Now here's the thing too with their convictions. Now you remember when we did 3.5 when we made the fiery crown,
yes,
the burning crown.
Burning crown, yes.
You get that in this game.
Really?
Oh.
See, what you get is that as you grow in power, that burning halo will appear above your head in combat.
Ah.
Is it like just play Bury the Light while we're fighting that?
Exactly. This is the final boss. This is the final boss you're up against. And I think I could be wrong on this one. Somebody please call me in the comments if I'm wrong about it. I think this is the same kind of hunter that Lucifer encounters in Times of Judgment. Where, yeah, I was going to talk about that later, Mason Splats. Lucifer encounters a hunter. I think it's a divine. And him encountering the hunter forces him into an existential crisis where he thinks, God, do you hate me that strongly that you send the humans that I love so dearly after me to kill me? He has a moment where he says that.
Yes.
And I do want to get to the edges, but I think we're a little bit low on time, so let's go into some other stuff because I want to talk about some other things.
Yes.
All right. So what else is extreme? Let's see. Take a wild guess. How can we get more extreme than this? How about, I don't know, the reverse side, the corrupt, which is what happens when an imbued starts talking with the worm.
When he eats a burger, and the cycle repeats.
You talk to the worm, or you talk too deeply with the demons from Demon of Fallen, or you talk too deeply with the abyss. You lose your mind and your power goes in the opposite direction, where it become more demonic than you do heavenly.
Wait. Could one theoretically follow a Black Spiral Dancer down the spiral by sneaking into their cairn and end up like that?
You will surpass the Black Spiral in terms of power.
Oof.
Where you won't become the worm's chosen. This is how you do it.
How must I achieve balance?
It's to the point where you're so ludicrously evil and corrupt that you will appear as a demon to certain people that have aura reading abilities. You know, the devil of human origin. And yet think of a guy who's like outdoing the Setites in terms of evil. You're outdoing the 7th generation. You have become the devil when you enter this creed. It's the exact opposite. And lastly, we have, it's extreme, but in a different way, the independent, where you have distanced yourself from this thing entirely, and you're now going off of your own blue and orange morality code, where you become so deeply invested in your own creed, your own hunt, that you've detached from the rest of the world. You go through a small death of personality once you enter this. So by refusing to be an ally of the messengers, you undergo something worse than divine extremism. You want to guess how this works? Where
you get to 10 conviction?
You pretty much become the pure. That the Fenris, their apocalypse scenario, that happens to you.
And then nothing
for
is
a second,
pure
when you-
enough.
When you
Death
said that, I was thinking Werewolf the Forsaken for a moment.
Yeah, death walks with you when you are independent. You might as well be the Grim fucking Reaper by this point, where you are walking around. Let's just like pick whatever weapon you want to be your scythe. That's it. You go around, and I'm not even sure if you're just going after supernaturals. You might just be going after everybody by this point. And like the Wayward, you're not just putting people in the ground because you think they might be supernatural. You're just putting them in the ground because that's just what you do now. You are a cosmic force of death by this point. You are now fulfilling the will of the original Balance Worm. And the signature character of Falls from Grace, Mary Ellen Kramer, used to be an Avenger who defected from the Messengers and is now so wrapped up in the hunt that after she's done with Earth, she plans on turning against the Messengers herself and purifying heaven.
And the thing she realizes that it's that perfection is unnatural.
You know who is a perfect example of this? The Batter from Off. That is a perfect example of an innocent. No, not innocent, an independent. Now, you might not have played Off. You know the concept of purification? Take that to its logical extreme where everything must be white, everything must be empty, everything must be at peace, everything must be silent forever. That's what that character is.
Good God. Werewolf at this point was probably so desperate for money, they wrote, they put mechanics of like, hey, want to be a Nazi?
You just want to be
Basically.
not even that. You are just the cosmic force of death with following this creed.
These
Which
are
not-
just for NPCs, but
No, it's not racial purity. It's just making the world bare and destroying and purifying all life.
I mean,
That's
like,
what you are.
originally these are supposed to be NPCs, but we need money. They'll buy the books if we invent mechanics for this.
Probably, yes.
It's what. Well, it's more that this book to me is choose your own final boss. We gave you 3 different final boss templates. They can level up depending on how far your game goes. This is your last enemy.
Basically, like
And-
fighting the SAX in the end of Metroid Fusion.
Exactly, where you get to design your own villain. You have your own mechanics for a villain hunter. Now, keep in mind, that's not strictly for Hunter the Reckoning. You can put this in any other game you want. So, do you want to fight against a divine, a corrupt, or an independent in a werewolf game? Because
Why not?
that's gonna be a hell of a ride.
Yeah, it is, but it would be pretty neat.
I can just see a corrupt leading the Black Spiral Dancer, Karen.
Exactly.
So-
That would throw you through such a loop. Like thinking, why are the BSDs following a human into combat?
And then you get punted through a fucking tree, and you're like, damn, that human got hands.
The
Yeah,
dude
and he
pulls
has-
out a scythe of glowing white fire and then smites you with it.
And he has Avatar of the Worm with 5 points in it too.
Exactly.
So, on a scale of 1 to the fatal system, how bad does
How bad's the what?
Yeah, the fatal like RPG system. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like the fatal RPG system, how bad of a fucking
See, I'm pulling this up.
11, let's say.
See, FAT, I'm pulling this up. I'm pulling up what the first thing was. Yeah, this looks like a game you can't play with your friends.
Yeah.
Fantasy Adventure to Adult Lechery. That's what it stands for.
What?
Okay. Oh, you don't know anything. You don't know about the fatal system? Okay, we'll save that for another game.
See,
Oh, God.
pulling up-
We'll save that.
This-
Save that for another video. Trust me.
This looks like the game where all those people that are like posting like D&D 5e porn games on Roll20, this looks like the game they actually
No.
want to play, but they're just not doing it.
No. The character sheet is 17 pages.
What?
The character
you try-
sheet.
You try out do Shadowrun?
What the
There's a
fuck,
set-
Richard?
I wonder why nobody plays this game. I see it. I see the script link.
There is a. St-
Yeah, I'm seeing 11 pages. See,
It's either 17 or
Encumbrance.
11.
all
Either
this
17
for
or 11. I'm not sure.
what the fuck with all these skills?
You know what?
You need to know all of them.
There's
Yep.
5 pages dedicated to skills and skills alone.
Okay, put this aside. Let's focus on Hunter the Reckoning. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I put you down. I opened up
Yeah,
a rabbit hole that you're not
that
prepared
looks,
for.
that looks like a straight up porn game.
I will not send you down a rabbit hole you're not ready for. I'm sorry.
Send me
I'll
down,
put
send me
that
down
back.
butthole.
Yes.
See ya.
Okay. Anyway,
So-
going down. Yes, vengeance.
Well, we
Hunter
already
Reckoning.
talked about the creeds.
Yes.
So, our favorite part of the video, Kyle, you got any ideas as to how to make an imbued?
How to make an imbued?
See, you got a character idea, Bruin, already?
I don't know. The Denji idea was kind of fucking hilarious.
Okay, well, if you were to adapt him into the game, what creed would you make him?
I mean, fuck. If that.
Think-
Uh,
Think
ma-
about it. Are you more focused on the Pachita aspect, or are you more focused on the Makima aspect?
Probably Makima, more than likely.
See, just the yes man, you're wishing. Oh, I wish this beautiful woman with pink hair would spread her legs and let me live inside of her.
I don't think that would
Wow.
be judgment, would it?
No, it wouldn't.
No.
See, well, the way you remember at the start of the where he encounters that guy with the beetle head, and he doesn't.
Look, I only
he doesn't
watched
give him-
episodes 6 through 12 of first season. I didn't watch all of
Yeah,
it.
you watched the horny episodes.
Yeah,
No,
I didn't
at the-
expect the show to go in that direction. I was just sitting there eating fucking a Big Mac in the basement, drinking some beers with my friends, and I'm like,
I'm getting horny.
It's getting,
I'm getting
getting
horny.
warm in here. The fuck is
I need to
this?
go to the bathroom. Need to go to the bathroom with a bottle of hand lotion.
Shut the fuck up. I'm gonna fucking stab you. We've lost him.
Got the kick now.
No, as far as
I need him to come in here to get me out of this.
hello, Vic.
There he
Yeah,
is.
we got
Okay,
the same
pull
push.
me back to reality.
I don't know. As far as like a hunter goes, like I was assuming that it could be an IAA agent, but no, IAA
okay,
aren't
well-
imbued. So
No, well, I was telling you with that dingy idea. You said at the start of the he encountered.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, exactly. He encounters a guy with a beetle head. That's a fiend, and he gives him a merciful death because he emotes with them. Because he notices that the beetle guy was reading a porn magazine, and he spares him because he's dingy. He likes pornography, so he gives him an easy death because of that. So that would put him in mercy, wouldn't it?
Kind of would, but Denji isn't merciful to other. Like the guy that, who was the guy that ordered the deaths of
Samurai sword.
Yeah, basically he and the other guy just spent the last half of the episode just taking turns kicking him in the nuts.
Yeah, where I guess you could say he's not exactly an innocent or a
No,
redeemer.
definitely not.
He could be an innocent, but I'm going to go ahead and say martyr, given how little regard for his safety he has.
Yeah, it sounds about right for him.
Where he's just throwing himself into the middle of combat, like the Leech Devil, for example. He had no actual interest in saving himself. It was more about saving power.
I don't know. What I could do is, and you're probably gonna hate me for reusing characters, but like Marcus in my what was it? Marcus.
Strahd.
Yeah, in my Strahd game. The whole reason that he's in Barovia is because before Strahd became a vampire, his family was killed by one of his war parties, and he was out for revenge after that. And so that would be a very simple way to adapt him into being a martyr, where he is out of shit to lose and he's going to take them all with him.
That is 100% the Avenger.
Yep.
Absolutely the Avenger.
And I get to listen to Clutch while I'm doing it because of when the game takes place.
Nice.
See, Eden, you got any ideas as to how to make it imbued?
Not really.
See, you got no ideas at the moment?
Thinking of someone that's kinfolk that just watches someone do first change and devour like a vampire.
That would be some conflict right there, and kinfolk becomes imbued and breaks away from the Guru Nation.
That's actually kind of neat. I like that.
Badass.
Yeah, that's some character conflict right there, because you're up against your former family, but God himself has told you that they're conspiring to kill all humans, or at least corral them to the point of the Stone Age. So, how are you going to live with that? And
Really tough.
after all, unless you get silver weapons, you can't permanently put them down. Even though you've got the 10 damage chainsaw, you can try to cut off the head of a werewolf. It's going to take a little while, given that it the regeneration. Got to go through a lot of chains with that one.
Yeah, probably.
See, unless you buy the silver chainsaw blade from Pentax.
Why do that? Make it yourself.
Or you could be one of those mercy ones that just takes a werewolf along on your hunts.
See, you just forgive the werewolf and then try to make peace with the Guru Nation.
Yeah.
You can't do that with the Gethemris. You can't do that with the Red Talons. You definitely can't do it with Silver Fangs.
Or like this
Like
in the chat, Johnny, if you want to take a look at that.
See, show me what you're looking at.
It's in studio notes. I hadn't shared it.
Oh yeah, that picture you posted before.
That does look
so,
kind of
uh,
fucking tight though.
Yeah, so I'm thinking more like a healer with like a thirds that just tags along healing people.
Yeah,
You've got
that'd be kind of neat.
the big box of Chinese herbal medicine.
Yep.
I,
You're saying?
it's okay if I could butt in. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
With the whole entire, maybe a hunter, maybe having a, relationship with a Garrow, kind of makes me think of the ending of the horror movie The Company of Wolves, where basically, long story short, Little Red Riding Hood shoots the werewolf on the shoulder, and of course the werewolf freaks out, turns into a wolf in a very bizarre transformation, and basically when the werewolf is done transforming, kind of a redeemer kind of hunter, the werewolf, instead of being violent and killing Red, because she shot him, instead he's whimpering, um, and then Red realizes this is an animal. This is not just a monster. It's an animal, and I feel bad because it's a living being, essentially. So I thought that was interesting.
And that film can be described as Little Red Riding Hood if it was written by Sigmund Freud.
Yeah. I mean, the
Where-
whole entire metaphor of that movie was about losing childhood innocence and puberty, basically.
Yeah,
It was fucking
that
weird.
movie had like a bunch of
Yeah.
surreal stuff in it too.
Oh, I loved it. It was very dreamlike.
Where it's kind of like House of a Thousand Corpses. It's not like jump scare scary, but more like this
It's
weirding
unnerving.
me out scary. Yeah.
Yep.
Because
I don't know. I honestly really
love
love the
House of a
ending of
Thousand
House of a Thousand Corpses. Just like that whole
You-
last
you-
scene where they get thrown into the pit.
you watch the entire movie. That movie is not scary at all at the start, and then you see like a linear scale where it starts moving up in terms of scary to the point where it's the whole Dr. Satan scene. And I feel like sick to my stomach watching it.
Oh yeah, that was great though. That was fucked.
Well, I feel like I was. It felt like I was starting to slip into a dark place watching that.
I mean, that's the whole point of it. That was the whole point of
Yeah.
House of a Thousand Corpses, and I really do.
Yeah.
I really do like that movie.
See, I'm not excited for meeting Dr. Satan in that Bridge Cross Appalachia.
It depends on where you wind up.
Jenny, I'm gonna
Tell me.
maybe be part of it.
The Forrest Gump
Duncan.
werewolf.
Yeah, literally Duncan. He's a mix between Forrest Gump and Shrek.
Life is like a box of worms. You never know what you're gonna find.
I
I
am
don't
set.
like worms.
So
I love-
if the
Danston and I have already discussed what his character would be when I get him into Rage Cross Appalachia, and I'm very, very excited
Yes.
for it.
we're kind
Yeah.
of toying two ideas, and they're both
Strange.
Nuwash.
They're
both
both
Nuwashu.
Nuwisha.
Yes. See, yeah. After all, he is the IRL Nuisha.
Yeah, so quite
You know what?
literally how I described it, it is this meme is when we were building the character.
It's
God damn it!
Oh
Like,
my god.
just going to go ahead and just go and dunk on me for the entire session he's in here.
Absolutely, goddamn better.
I might as well admit that I'm freaking Coyote. Right,
He
fine.
just is.
That's right. All right, fine.
We end the session with either ends the road or leaves strangling his Nuisha.
It's probably what's going to happen.
Well, here's the
Danston, I
thing,
should
like-
warn you, two of my players are complete murder hobos.
Oh
Here's the
man.
Here's the thing. I was so torn on which Nuisha to go
Which
with,
face
but
to
then
use?
then I started thinking, is it possible to do both? Because I mean, I can go with disguises, right? So I don't know.
I mean, you
Seemed too
could.
meta.
Skinwalker.
But,
Nah.
in Appalachia, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Quite literally,
Give. I mean, I see a
Appalachia.
coyote in my backyard once a year.
Appalachia
See,
as a setting is the epitome. Like, you ever see that meme where it's like English forests versus American forests?
Yeah.
And like, European forests, they're playing like the Lord of the Rings music. You got like the little gnomes crawling through mushrooms and shit. And then it's just trail cam footage over black metal for the Americans.
Yes.
That's awesome.
See,
I mean, like,
and-
the two builds are basically, one is more wise and more of like a teacher kind of thing, whereas the other build is more combat based. But here's the thing. He can't do anything for damage, but god damn it, he is a fucking tank. You can't fucking hit him. You can't hit him.
Let's talk about, while we're on the subject of other splits, how to mix the splits together.
Let's go.
Ooh, bomb
Nope,
collar inside
nope.
of a gyro you drop. Make him
nope.
spend the rest of his life redeeming himself. In a hunt.
It's
So you basically do that one quest like the Brotherhood of Steel in New Vegas.
Yes. Yes, that's the only reason you leave it alive, is that so it can actually devote the rest of its life to helping you in your cause.
yeah.
Ed
So
just really
there
wants to
is-
tame a werewolf.
There,
That's that hunter brain from World of Warcraft.
there is, in the Storyteller's Guide and other hunter books that were released, guides as to how to hunt vampires from their perspective of hunters. But let's think about the hunts in question. How easy would it be to hunt a Bruja?
Oh, easy. Next fucking
Very.
Antifa protest, just post up on a roof with a BMG and you're good.
Now, identifying the Bruja is going to be easy. Fighting the Bruja is a different matter altogether. Because you might have the defender, you might have the cleave, you might have all these different powers, but at the same time, you're a human. That Bruja has celerity and potence. You will die in one shot if that thing punches you.
I mean, it all
Well,
depends on
you
how
got the
power
use
gaming
of
the
the-
DM is, though.
As how will I roll?
That's why you block
I mean-
off two ends of the road, get two guys with fucking some machine guns and gun him down in the
I mean-
street. Nobody will bat an eye. It's a Bruja.
I mean, based off the NPCs that you gave me for like Black Sunshine,
That was a very strong Bruja.
Jesus Christ! Like,
You took down a dragon in 2 punches,
with non-lethal damage.
and then cut his head off with the iron sword.
Based.
That was like Dungeons and Dragons crap right there. When I was listening to that, I was like, "Is this World Darkness or Dungeons and Dragons? What the hell?"
Seriously, what
slipped
the
in-
fuck?
You slipped into Dark Ages Vampire for an episode.
Yep.
And let's see. Now the fun thing is that every vampire you hunt is going to be a little bit different. Like the Malkavians.
Oh
You can
no!
imagine how
Don't mention me in this. Don't mention me in this, okay?
now
like-
how hard is it going to be to hunt the Malkavian? Because you just look for your average nut house and you're probably going to find a Malkavian inside of it. But the Malkavian knows you're after him. Now, for how long he's known you're after him, that's the fun part. Maybe he's been getting visions all his life about hunters coming after him, and he's seeing them as angels with burning wings coming after him with burning swords. He's been preparing for you his whole life. Imagine that for your plot hook.
He has, but
And-
Oh yeah.
I imagine that he would only expect a hunter to kill him. He wouldn't. I don't think a Malkavian, given the circumstances, would expect him to just kind of sit down and try to talk to him.
Exactly. But at
He
the
would
same
just kind
time-
of be sitting around waiting for the shoe to drop.
Exactly, but that's the opposite issue with the Bruja. The Bruja, the fight is going to take forever. The hunt is going to be super quick. With a Malkavian, the fight will end in 2 seconds, but the hunt's going to last forever because Obfuscate and Auspex combined, that is going to take a long time. Along with the Madness Network, that Malkavian knows everything you're doing and can plan around everything you're doing. He will leave behind a trail, but it's going to take you probably years before you finally corner him.
It's a
Actually,
game.
it's not that hard. What you just gotta do is that you gotta like put on a loudspeaker 21st century shit posting, you know, and that would work.
Just drown him out with
You
noise.
play Skibbity Toilet
Yeah.
out in public.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
pretty
tip-
much. You know, you just overwhelm his senses. You know, he's basically an autistic kid. Like shit.
Fair. Understandable.
Just
No,
scream
yours-
at him, you know? Ah, motherfucker! Ah! You know?
I don't know.
Don't wave
most
your
of
hands.
my hunter solutions, and it's just like that meme of skip dialogue option, and it's just a picture of a Glock.
And you went on to our last. What
I like
you
my
were saying?
I like my suicide bomber idea.
Just a stack of paper of character sheets, and they're all suicide bombers.
What the fuck? Boom!
I mean, if
Adol's man wiki yo.
if
Let's talk
Dr.
about.
Gibson does not work out very well, I might go with like some sort of like a
And
this
they kill you off
reincarnated
naturally
soul.
first.
Just like this
And-
reincarnated person just keeps coming back and coming back.
I like I still like the idea of just like you pretend you're a martyr. You pretend to get ghouled by a fucking Toreador. They want to show you off to their elder friends and how good they are. And next thing you know, there's just like a fucking 10-pound ball of just 10 pounds of tungsten balls sitting in your stomach, and you just explode.
And
I have
let
5
me-
pounds of C4 shoved up my ass.
let me
Yep.
ask you, who do you think is going to take the longest to hunt? Because the
Samiti,
answer is obvious.
La Sombra.
Tremere.
Yeah, okay.
God damn it!
Tremere chantries are historically
Ugh.
brutal.
Locked up. I mean, you asked Zamichi how long it took them to get inside Tremere's chantry. Oh wait, they still haven't got inside of it yet.
Well, the real question is how, in terms of how long it takes to find them. Well,
It's-
if you remove time from the equation, does it even matter?
You're going to have to take a lot of vampire blood and stop aging alongside the Tremere. But the Tremere can teleport. That's what Goretrix and Etrus were doing. With the rites and the blood sorcery. You gotta guess where he's going to teleport to, and you need a guy waiting there to catch that Tremere. And you need to catch him before he teleports back into the Chantry, and you begin the pop goes the weasel game all over again.
Cat and
He's
mouse.
He's Doctor Doom in Fantastic Four.
I was going to say
Oh
the
my God.
Glasswalkers, but I'm going to have to put them as a second based on what you said. Just because
Glasswalkers.
you're either
The
gunned
cybersecurity.
down or the metal in your own gun gets animated by the Glasswalker and just murders you.
Yeah, you do the thing like Joggy does in Fist North Star, where you aim the shotgun at him, only for the shotgun to turn around and point itself at you.
Oh, not only that, I mean like
Tom and Jerry gag.
one of the Glasswalker tribe books had that opening comic where literally the rebar gets animated out of the concrete and like binds the kinfolk guy that turned corrupted. Just do that with their guns. Any tool they have, they literally cannot face the Glasswalkers without anything made by.
Thank you for Tom and Jerry gif as this is going on.
You're welcome.
Yeah, exactly, bruh.
And
I have to see
who
this-
else would be
see this one, or is this,
well, here's the cat and mouse game of your life. How about hunting an Assamite?
No.
Yeah.
No.
See who volunteers to do that?
Isn't that part 4 of JoJo, basically?
Yeah, a little bit.
Where
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
you
yeah,
got it
gotta
backwards.
find-
See,
Oh wait, no,
It's
that's
the
that's the
Assamite
wrong JoJo reference. Never mind.
you gotta hunt the vampire that gets paid to hunt vampires every day.
you just see like the
to working with you.
you just see like
Well-
the vampire take the hunter aside. Listen. I think you got the things confused. I'm supposed to be the one, the hunter, and you're supposed to be the prey. That's the thing. I think this. Did you notice the level bar? Like I'm level 50. You're only level 1, right?
Yeah, go ahead, bend over and let me get your blood.
I mean, that would be really funny. Is that like you keep getting sent out on assignments to hunt down a vampire, and then the Assamite's already 2 steps ahead of you?
That's a
Stop.
very
You
euthantoid
have
thing to
violated the
do.
law.
See,
What is yours?
and-
We're like the last boss. You're supposed to grind up your points before you actually come back here and actually kill us. Yeah, but
like an RPG.
Yeah, really.
See, I got an idea. I was just thinking about vampire clones. I got an idea. You want a conventional mafia movie? Make it A Hunt for the Giovanni.
Hey, that'd be fun.
That'd be
Be
fun.
J.
I mean,
Edgar Hoover.
My precious Michael.
you gotta go and you gotta wait at Valentino's pasta restaurant with the gun that you already hid in the toilet before the hunt, and you gotta make sure that Papa Giovanni's gonna be there on time for his Sunday dinner.
Well, yeah, because he's a fat ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Every Giovanni's
Mama.
slimy.
What setting? What's the date of the year?
1970s New York.
So you basically
make it
play as
earlier?
Travis Bickle.
Yes.
Can you make it earlier? Like I want to
19
make like a I want to do
1920s.
like a Jacob earlier. I'm thinking I want to make like a an homage to like the Jacobs family. Maybe like get some like bone nars that are run
Bro,
by,
you
like,
just
his,
read my mind.
Families in New York.
Yes. Yes.
Let's see. And one more vampire clan. Let me think of one more. I want to say Bali, but no, let's think of something else.
Ventru.
See, Venture.
Venture.
All the connections that will come after you kill that Venture.
Again,
Oh,
50
bro.
BMG halfway across town. They'll never see it coming.
Exactly. But at the same time, you just shot vampire Jeffrey Epstein. He's got an entire political party that's going to come after you for killing him.
That is if they know.
Technically, Epstein was his facilitator. They would want him
Yeah,
dead,
Yeah.
not be the leader of whatever organization that would then come after you.
Yeah.
They might actually see it as a service, getting rid of him if he was like blackmailing them, and inconvenience at worst.
Yeah, well, and at the same time, like, how quickly was the Lee Harvey Oswald apprehended?
Pretty quickly, and then he was assassinated.
Exactly.
And then you got
Exactly.
Diddy.
Yeah.
Diddy is more fucking evil. Okay, imagine this.
And he chased a woman down in a hotel room in only his bath towel and beat the shit out of her as she was getting to the elevator. You want to tell me this is an innocent man?
That's fucking
contact?
funny. That's messed up.
I know, right?
Like if she like broke into his room safe and literally stole like $500,000, I would understand it.
And then, now it's like you're just telling me I can't have a sex cult. Like you're just telling me I can't do that.
Believe it or not, that
Literally
is frowned
every
upon in
cult
modern
is.
society.
What's even,
Every cult leader is like that.
what's even worse is that you can't. What's even worse is that you can't. I mean, you can't traffic women for sex, and then you can't force them to sing a song that you wrote that basically has a low key story of basically how you were raped and manipulated. And you're
tell me
What's
like that.
love got to do with...
You're telling me I can't do what Andrew Tate did and just call a woman from a foreign country over to my house and ask for her passport and make her work on the street?
I mean,
Tell me I just can't do that?
no, there are
OnlyFans.
certain countries you could probably do that. Oh,
Just OnlyFans.
well, no, that's
It's
their
voluntary.
decision, though.
Yeah, it's voluntary. That's the best part. It's voluntary.
I love the meme where it's like who is it? Something John Hamm's character from Mad Men standing in front of like a picture of a kangaroo, and it's like, listen, guys, it's called female empowerment, and then they dance naked for the price of a cheeseburger.
Let's see here. See, what? Let's go to werewolves now. Let's see. Now, out of all the werewolves, which one do you think is the easiest to hunt?
Red
Children of
Talent.
Gaia.
Well,
Stargazers.
Red
See.
Talent, you just go on a helicopter and start sniping them from the air.
See, and then they do the right where they summon the tree that grows its branches and it pierces the helicopter as you're flying by.
the
The tree
easiest.
ants from Lord of the Rings.
See,
Hmm.
it comes up and it stabs the helicopter.
Easiest werewolf to hunt. That's actually a good question. It could be the Fianna. I'm not gonna lie. As much as it pains me to say it.
And with the Children of Gaia, you just
bonars.
need to go over and advertise Sex Week at your local university, and then that will draw the Children of Gaia
Yep.
in like flies to flypaper.
Either them.
Oh.
Well, actually, no. The Bonars are virtually indestructible, so can't be the Bonars.
Probably black pole dancers because they just leave a trail of bodies all around them.
That's true.
Well, I think this.
Well,
I
yeah.
think this goes back to the question of which one is the easiest to kill, as opposed to which one is the easiest to find.
Yeah, easiest to kill.
Yeah,
It
you're
would
right.
likely be Fianna, if I'm being honest.
You count out Black Furies. They got the regeneration like crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I don't think the Fianna have a real deterrent against hunters.
You know, I think the Black Fears might be somewhat easier to find. Just be the one man that isn't looking at them lustfully. They'll probably respect you more.
Yeah.
And then they
might
all
decide-
turn to you and pick up their axes and then chase after you in the street.
Basically, yeah. But then they don't know that you got hands, so.
They're like my main mother, but she dead.
Now, if I were to give my honest guess as to which one would be the easiest to hunt, I would say Silent Striders.
Really?
Because they hunt by
Because they
themselves.
wander.
Yeah, but they're also
Oh.
incredibly hard to, they're incredibly hard to keep up with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah, that's
got
the thing.
you got one shot. You've got one shot to get that Silent Strider, and if you miss that shot, that's it. You don't get to try again.
Yep.
Better
Worse
Better
yet,
make sure
then
that
they
bullet
know
at
that
the
you're
is silver.
worse. Yeah, then they pass on the info that hey, there's a hunter over here, and everyone knows you're there. Then you got to relocate.
I mean,
Second of all,
you can find them. You just have to keep up with them.
And also,
And then
if it's a
secondly-
rank 5 Silent Strider, they damn the heart flood. You get a heart attack, and you just fucking die.
you've also got Burger Creek, who brought up in his Hunter video. Rates are the best source of information you can go to in the World of Darkness because of all the stuff they've seen and the Arkanoids to help them get more information. So if that Silent Strider gets away and then starts conversing with Rates, it's over.
Yeah, basically.
And see here, but yeah, BSDs would be the easiest to find because just follow the trail of dead bodies. It'll lead you to the BSD.
Or just go to a dump, and you'll meet one.
Or a trail of rape victims.
You know, it'd be fun. What'd be a fun hunt?
What's that?
Wendigo.
Oof.
Oh no, you. I think I wrote. Well, I didn't write, but I was thinking about something where it's like in the IAA, Colt went out to like hunt down a Wendigo with like I think a group of 5 people from the IAA. He and Darius were the only 2 to make it out.
And then it just survived the encounter and it never left you alone.
Yep.
Where
A little bit
That's the thing,
extra
though. You can't-
PTSD, seeing somebody quite
You can't-
literally torn in half.
you can't exploit that gift because if you get the Wendigo following you, and you know it's tracking you, you've got the visionary power that lets you see the past or astral project. Then you just recreate the ending of No Country for Old Men. Find a hotel room, have a beer, smoke a cigarette for the last time, sit on the bed with a double-barreled shotgun, and just wait for the Wendigo to open the door.
Yep.
Shut
out
up, I
swinging.
did not escape the Wendigo.
Yes.
I think there might be a complication with the Wendigo trying to remain inhuman as long as possible, then painting you as a racist for trying to hunt it down.
I was thinking
Uh,
about
hate crime enhancers for,
I was thinking about that.
because Wendigo are all Native Americans, so there is a universal like racial aspect that you can count on that none of the other tribes could, because Wendigo are purely Native American.
Oh, the
guess-
Uktena could probably still pull it off.
Probably.
Just they
Oh, that
call their
makes
local
me
child of
think
Gaia to paint you as a
of-
racist and say they're pro the clan.
It makes
sure.
me makes me think of the what was it? The Department of the FBI, the SAD department, of how they thought only Native Americans can get quote unquote like lycanthropy or some bullshit like that. So they were
Wait,
like
Native
literally
Americans?
harassing like Native American reservations or some
Actually,
shit like
that's
that.
funny.
I think I remember that source.
It's
but
sad.
It was like there was
Yeah.
certain types of werewolves they were aware of. Wendigo, Utica, and BSDs. If you weren't a Wendigo or Utica, you were a BSD to them. Which meant
That's messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, J. Edgar Hoover and his bullshit. Let's see.
Yep.
Let's see. The article is called Fairy FBI Agent and Random Werewolves. Well, of course we know that
Jeez.
the guy cross-dressed and he hated gay people, but, it's okay if he does it. Matt.
Wait, wasn't one of the presidents? There's the meme where it says like, "There's actually two people in this picture," because under the desk,
Oh,
know.
Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
He's putting the clit in Clinton.
I think George Carlin actually made that joke.
Let's see. Who's next on the list? Mages. Let's see. All right. Take a crack. Which of the 9 traditions would be the easiest?
Whichever one doesn't have time magic.
Okay, so that's the Cult of Ecstasy out the window.
Yep.
Bruja.
See,
That's
that's not a mage.
That's not a mage.
Oh, sorry. But
So-
well, I heard time stop on my connection, so I was like,
True Bruja. Oh,
That's true,
that'd be
Bruja,
nasty.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That'd be nasty.
yeah,
but-
the time stop. Zawardo.
See.
But no, as far as like the
Ooh.
mages go, I don't know. Maybe the Akashic.
See. The Akashic. You think it'll be easy to hunt Kenshiro?
Okay, yeah, you got a point there. Maybe not.
He has the Hokuto-Shinken 2-finger interception.
I've
where
actually.
he caught the man. He caught the man's bullet between his fingers like Mr. Miyagi catches a fly and then flicked it back into the guy's skull.
Oh, catch this buckshot, homeboy.
Yeah.
Just like the fucking Mandalorians to the Jedi.
Well, hold on. You take the holy ray shooting power from like the from like the mercy ability, right? And you just have
Yeah.
that duel with like an acoustic brotherhood, and just basically it's Dragon Ball Z.
That would be, exactly. That's how you end your game. See, I think out of all these guys, the easiest one to go looking for would be the one who makes himself the most obvious. As in, you're doing pagan rituals out in the middle of the woods without the ability to step into the Umbra at will, like the Dream Speakers can. Verbena is who I'm going to bank with.
Actually, that does make sense. They're probably hella scary to fight, but it works.
Hey, they're having the blood and semen ritual out in the middle of the woods. They're easy to find.
Out at
Good luck.
what was that? What was that? Cult place in the middle of Ohio?
Let's see.
Something
Well, there's
like,
many of them.
The Church of Skibbity Toilet.
Shut the fuck
Bohemian
up.
Grove.
Yeah, that's the one. Buckingham Grove.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to go into the middle of Bohemian Grove and they try to kill you?
Yep, basically.
Let's see, and second guess, I'd probably say it's more that they're going to find you before you find them, the Euthanatos.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I don't know. Why would the Euthanatos want to kill a hunter? I mean, the Euthanatos
But
only kill people that are wasting the gift of life.
They're doing it because they want the good death. And if a hunter is stepping on their toes, who's to say that Euthanatos is going to get jealous about that?
Technically, if the
exactly.
hunter is killing people off too zealously, they're actually ending people's lives that shouldn't be ended, so they might be violating the right of life.
What would you say the wayward deserves to live?
Probably not.
Yeah. Not if they're killing innocent people.
Bro, I can't wait to play just like a cigar chomping Duke Nukem douchebag as the Euthanatos.
God,
Shadow Wizard Money Gang. We love
What about
casting
the technocracy?
spells.
Like, which order do
Time
you
to
think
chew gum
or
and eat
section-
ass.
which
Okay,
section do you
dick
think is
kick 'em.
easiest to kill?
You're saying that him?
Sorry.
I'm saying, which section of the
Rover talking
technocracy would be
Eden.
easiest to hunt and kill?
Yeah.
Technocrats.
I was thinking progenitors, assuming they don't
I was going
have,
to say
like,
syndicate.
because I was saying progenitors because if they don't have like a shape changer or a changing breed pet out of their test tubes, they're pretty easy to kill once you just walk
They make
into the
themselves the shape changers.
Pretty much. I don't know. The Syndicate seemed like they'd be fairly easy to kill.
Just follow the money. Just follow the money.
follow them. Just choke your way up the corporate ladder until you find the Eyes Wide Shut party and chuck a Molotov in the middle of the desk.
You've also got
Bro,
the.
that's so easy.
You can also do the
Logan
Lee
Paul.
Harvey Oswald, John Wilkes Booth campaign and go after the New World Order.
Or just kick the door in with a Tommy gun.
See,
Logan
there were
Paul.
two more presidential president assassins.
So like
Um,
dream speakers. though.
Leon Shulgosh.
Yes. And who's the last one? I don't remember his name. Oh,
I can't think of his
come
name.
on. Come on.
Anyway, so Danston, what were you saying?
We were saying like hunters and dream speakers. I'm just trying to think like would they actually want to help them or like
No.
Probably not.
No.
Here's the thing, if they I mean I don't want to
Charles J. Guto, that was the other guy. Okay.
Here's the thing,
But-
if you're killing a dream speaker, the majority of them are kind of like of an ethnicity, right? So if you're
Yeah,
trying to
commit the
kill-
hate crime. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Jesus.
Go ahead. Do it.
So
See-
basically, if you try to kill one, you're basically they're throwing the race card at you.
We're going
We
to
said
quote-
the
do
same thing with
Dragon
the
Ball Z.
Wendigo and the Octena.
We're going to do the Dragon
Yep.
Ball Z quote and say, "Don't shoot this man is black."
No, don't do this.
Damn it.
He's not black.
Sorry.
You can't kill this man. He's endangered.
Oh my god. I'm sorry that I yelled in my mic. That fuck.
No, you're good.
Killed me.
Minority suspect. Minority suspect. Careful, he's got a
Oh my
gun.
Oh my god.
Okay, Nafandi, I don't think we have any qualms against that.
No, kill them.
Nope.
Kill the Satanist mage. Do it.
Please.
Kill it.
Do the world
Kill
a
it
favor.
now.
See, and the Marauder. God bless the hunter who goes after a Marauder.
They gotta be fucking just. I don't know.
You're
I
going
didn't
after
do
a
it.
man who is glitching out the Matrix. You can't handle that by yourself.
That's why you get
Wait,
your
I
friends
didn't
to go with
fucking do
you.
it.
That is a personal.
Yeah.
They're not trying to get all of them, bro. They're just one. It's just 100 that wants to get just one motherfucker. That's all.
It's just one Marauder. I don't need anybody to help me.
Pretty much.
Literally the Goku versus 1 billion SpongeBob's meme.
See who's next. How about a ghost hunt? Let's hunt some rates.
Fucking Luigi's Mansion
Ghostbusters.
out here.
Yeah, the Luigi's Mansion campaign.
Are you actually killing them, or are you just kind of like?
You're
Helping 'em
sending them
pass
back to the
on.
labyrinth, pretty much.
I would say puppeteers, if they can't get out of the body fast enough, you can just kill their body that they're inhabiting or possessing.
Yeah, same thing with embody. Just break the thing they're inhabiting over your knee.
Yep.
Who are you gonna call?
Literally.
Like Ghostbusters.
better.
Exactly.
Busting makes me feel good. Like the
That would
fucking
be- that-
Annabelle doll on fire.
That is the premise of a Ghostbusters campaign right there.
Yep.
Bustin makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Exactly.
ectoplasm. Oh, it's everywhere.
He
Oh my
slimed me.
god.
It
Slimer.
feels
getting
so
this-
funky.
I'm gonna use the vacuum cleaner.
Is it- You get the vacuum cleaner, the nuclear gun, and then you just instead of just pulling them into traffic, you just end up sending them back. You send them back to the labyrinth and hope that Oblivion solves the problem for you.
Average German porno.
What?
There it is.
What is
He's,
it called?
he's very horny right now.
Was it don't cross the lasers? Like don't touch the lasers? Or was it? What's basically the innuendo for docking?
God fucking damn it.
See, now let's break Kyle's heart with this next bit. Changeling kits.
No.
Puka.
Yep,
Why
Yep,
would you
definitely
do
the
that?
puka.
You break my heart too.
yep. You gotta.
They're
go
literally
after
just
that.
animal people. There's I mean the only one easier to kill than them would be the inanimate, but then you're doing the work of the chimera and the worm.
Well, you shouldn't be relying on these fairies to make you happy. Why don't you just be happy on your own?
Because the world kind of fucking sucks balls.
You blew all your money on hiring the smiling friends when you can just, I don't know, smile your own damn self.
They're a non-profit
Hey, it's good to have-
organization.
No.
It's the non-profit. They get all this government money.
I'm
See,
I'm just
Look
thinking.
at this. So, are the unseen link courts the frowning friends?
is that
Oh
it's
no.
yeah the shadow court would be the founding friends. The unseelie court are just bullies on the playground.
Yep.
The Puka. I'm just thinking about Hunter the Parenting and Puka. Just
Frowning
thinking,
friends.
they do like
Brilliant.
the Killing Bites anime and just make the Puka duke it out
Yeah.
just to see what their weaknesses are.
See, I would love to endorse Hunter's parenting more, but you're doing it Hunter's Hunted style. You're not actually imbued.
Yep.
Yep. You had a perfect
Hunters.
missed opportunity. You could have made Big D imbued, but you just chose to make him an average hunter.
The hunters, they hunt the trolls.
You based him off the God Emperor of Mankind. Why is he not imbued? And
Man, to kill a Slua is so easy. You just got to get it and blast it to their face.
you just play enough Mother music, and eventually they'll do it themselves.
Yep.
And
Lincoln Park.
Yep.
But in terms of fun fights, you want to fight a red cap? You want to fight Danny Grand Slam?
Oh no, dude, you get
Yes,
your fucking shit
yes.
kicked in.
Yeah. Thank you for that picture, by the way. Let me thank you.
Yeah,
in
it
person
looks
for that.
awesome. Bring up the picture.
Yeah.
Show us the
Oh,
picture.
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You have to go ahead.
Post the
to
picture.
fight this
Everybody
guy.
gets to see it.
Yeah, the Avengers
Yeah.
don't want to find the love. Use that sword after the red cap bites it and eats it in one chomp.
Delicious.
Where is
Oh
it?
my god.
Yeah.
Which chant?
Actually, I'll grab the one that because I think he did send it to me when he got finished. I'll just
Yeah.
copy that image and I'll bring it over here into the thing.
Along with
Hey, I may be
Yep.
insane, but I'm still an artist like my stupid horny cousins, you know.
see,
Yeah, as it
we're,
goes.
we're talking with Robert Crumb as we speak.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
this is the
this
art
guy is-
of Danny Grand
This
Slam
motherfucker.
that
Yeah.
that Victor had painted for us. Thank you very much, Vic. And you can
Yeah,
see
the
That was
minute
colored pencil.
That is awesome. That is a
it looks fucking
grotesque.
tight.
piece.
the minute I get to use Danny again, I'm going to do it.
I notice he
man.
also has like the patch of
Bacchus on the shoulder. Yeah.
Bacchus on his shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you got me
was
down there
supposed
in
to
a
be big.
corner there. Show my support.
Howling. Yeah.
And yeah, it's the fun that would be fighting a red cap 1-on-1. But on top of that, the Avengers with their 6 strength fighting against a troll who's dealing 11 points of damage.
Yes.
The
go.
slugfest that will ensue.
Oh
Or-
yeah.
Let's see. Do the hunters have fun guns? Guess who's got even better guns than knockers?
Yep.
Nice.
You get to fight
Someone
against
Orky
with a
weapons.
9-barrel shotgun.
You
I
get to fight
need to
against the
commission a knocker for
make the
69
shotgun?
barrel shotgun.
He makes
69
a-
barrel. It has to be 69 barrel.
He's got a cylinder-fed shotgun that he's fighting you with.
That sounds kind of
Nice.
fucking tight. I want a gun like that.
And he's shooting it with one hand.
It's like the
Oh yeah.
it's like the auto shotty from Doom Eternal.
No. Let's talk about the career achievement with the hunter. Demon the Fallen.
Good
Oh,
luck.
no. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, this is not a game built to be Devil May Cry.
Good luck.
So
Yep.
I don't know. I think it
Some
would be
fucking
really
Overwatch
funny to
shit.
just be a fucking Dante.
that is a final boss, no matter how you spin it. That is the last enemy you're fighting in Demon the Fallen.
Exactly.
Not because they're the strongest, but because all of your player characters will be dead by the end of that fight.
Yep.
Yep.
There is no coming back from that, because even at the first level of the lores, they can still TPK a party. The lore, like the lore of flame. Let me just go ahead and just type in Demon of Fallen lore of flame. See,
Oh my
See.
god.
if you are playing a devil in a DTF game, this is the power that you're picking first. Because why would you not take this? Out no
love-
fuel, where you roll stamina and survival. And if there is a source of fire or heat within a number of yards equal to your fate score, you could just pick it up off the ground and move it wherever you want. Up to 1 square foot per success.
Huh.
I got that's the bot fire training, but man, that's a little too much for me. Sorry.
And if you're high torment, monstrous devils fuel the strength of an existing blaze rather than its dimensions, causing the fire to burn radically out of control, dealing more lethal fire damage for every one success you rolled in that stamina survival score.
Making me feel like a fraud if my fucking deed name is Blaze with Fire.
As then you can make a flame from a Zippo lighter, burn so intensely hot that it melts through metal.
So you become Roy Mustang then.
Yeah, yes.
Always knew the pyro would come out in you.
So the easiest thing you can do with the devil is that you just light a match and then throw it at somebody, then use the lower flames to have like a small firebolt come out.
Hey, light a match, make a wish.
There it is. And yeah,
I
that's
wish for a pony.
Now the thing is with Hunted Reckoning, there's one more thing we gotta talk about: the conviction system. As in, Dan, you've brought this up before. You can't level up your zeal, your mercy, or your vision as the game goes on. You are given this as the story progresses based off of your storyteller's discretion. So
right.
You are either playing something close to Devil May Cry, or you're playing something along the lines of The Boys, depending on how your storyteller runs it. But as we discussed with those level 5 powers, by the time you get that, the campaign's almost over because there's very little that can stop you now.
I mean, at this point, you might as well play like the what's that version of World of Darkness where you have like Desert Eagles that shoot out
Exalted.
actual Okay.
You might as well be playing Exalted.
Shit.
Exactly. And yeah, I think that's it for the Hunter episode.
Yep. It's fun. Play Hunter.
This is some of the most fun I've had playing World of Darkness, where the Freda game that I've got Dan in, along with everyone else in that group, that is fantastic. Yeah, you just posted the Demon the Fallen games. Yeah, that I would not say is lore accurate, but that's what you think you're like when you're playing Hunter the Reckoning.
I just feel very underpowered.
See, you're human.
You're
in
a
not
world
coming
of
out the
aliens
gate.
versus predators. You are making the conscious decision to play as the Marines.
This is
These
not
are
vampire. This is not
powers
werewolf.
that
You're
humans
not
can
coming out the
have,
gate with tons of
you're not gonna
abilities
have
that
them.
character creation.
Yeah.
You're not
These
coming
are
out the gate with all
possibilities.
these abilities.
That's the thing. Like, you're gatekeeping all these powers for us.
Because nobody stopped you from going over to the gangrel that we hunted and you drinking his blood and getting fortitude from it.
Yes, it was. Schedule. I couldn't do it because of my schedule.
See, the next Titanite we fight, you slit his throat and you drink his blood. You do that.
No.
I guess metaphor for Hunter of Reckoning, and I know you're gonna hate me, Kyle, okay, but bear with me. Warhammer. Just
God
the W word that you hate.
Playing the Imperial Guard.
I know you're playing the Imperium,
you're
my
playing
man.
Fucking Imperial Guard.
Yeah.
Literally Starship Troopers, my guy.
I love it.
That's fair.
Technically,
That's fair.
Starship Troopers have lower casualty rates.
Yeah, kick me out, deactivate me. I get it. I heard it all.
See, I prefer the Krieg armor myself.
My friends at work actually
Oh my
has a
god,
Krieg
I love the
backpack.
Death Corpse of Krieg.
He has a Krieg
Kriegs.
flask and a Krieg backpack.
Nah, the Krieg, eating their corpse dust. Even in death, I'm still served.
You guys are all a bunch of fucking nerds.
That's why you're here.
You know, I've never actually
Warhammer.
never played Warhammer, read a book, or watched or played a game of it.
You just know
And
from
yet
the
I
memes.
just get it just from like a association
Just
of
from the
Warhammer. to
memes.
everything else. Yeah, and the association, like you just pick it up from other people that do.
Yeah, it's sort of like an
I'm
STD.
gonna commend you.
You pick it up from
I'm gonna
somebody else and it
commend
just
you,
itches a
Kyle.
lot.
I need Dark Angels, Kyle.
No.
I'm gonna commend you, Kyle, by pumping your brain with 560 trillion milligrams of Warhammer 40k lore.
I will throw myself out a fucking window if I get that much Warhammer in my veins at any point in time.
I'm not
Amen,
letting you
brother.
die soon, boy.
I mean,
I'm not
it
going
won't
down
be
that
up to
rabbit
you.
hole.
And
Play
yeah, I think
Hunter.
that's it. I think
Good night,
I'm out of
everybody.
stuff to talk about. Yeah, this is a fun game. Play it already. Damn it, do it. We need more attention in World of Darkness.
Yes, play Hunter.
Jesse.
I just realized we haven't gone over how the hunters would kill each splat.
See,
Wait, we
Hunters
did.
would kill.
Yeah, we did.
No, like you said,
Oh, we
hunt
said
them
which
down,
one was
not
the
like
easiest to
rabbits.
kill, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for example, vampires aren't going to be affected by poison gas, while the werewolves would. Probably wouldn't be wearing a gas mask with that lupine muzzle.
I mean, you could probably
Well,
still
Mike-
make one. Or you just
Yeah,
put them
what
in
do we
Hamid
see?
form.
Poison gas can still affect their skin. I mean, it can
Yeah.
still cause irritation acidically.
Yeah.
But you're dealing with blood poisoning then.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I
surviving
love
an
my
hour or two.
microplastics. Sorry.
Speaking of lead poisoning, should probably check the ceiling
See,
for my paint.
see it.
Yep.
God, and hell, all this black mold, you're gonna go insane next time I speak to you.
So.
Oh no, I
killing
cleaned all
a-
the black mold. Don't worry about that.
Can what?
Some what?
Oh, I said killing a mage. Like, would you just bring a bunch of normies, or even like Garrow along, so that?
Oh
they
yeah, just
survive
fight the Mage
while-
Republic.
Yeah,
Easy.
or just bring a bunch of people to make it wherever they're doing their mage stuff public.
It'd be like
Bring
just
cameras.
yeah.
Be a
Cameras. We
streamer.
need cameras.
We're live streaming
Live.
the entire hunt.
Stream it live.
Fuck it,
everyone
we're doing it
calls
live.
bullshit.
Fucking
Actual
body
fact.
cam footage.
Just watch like 500,000 people call the mages magic bullshit or being fake online on the stream. Call the stream
Did we-
pre-recorded.
Fake
sir,
Lamau.
sir,
Button.
sir, is it true that you can teleport? Can we see it, sir?
It's like that one mod of Skyrim where like the kid comes up to you and it's like, wow, you know magic? Can you turn me invisible? And you go, sure, why not? This is gonna be fun. And then you just impale him in the head with an axe.
We can just like I can imagine just like a very Ezra Miller like bait hunter concept.
Yeah, basically.
Oh man.
The Ezra Miller Hunter.
So,
I love the part. I love the part where it just goes, "Hey," and it's just how he says it breaks you out of the immersion of the movie.
Yeah.
so for
God.
vampires, I have a question. Is it the
Yes.
sun specifically that burns them, or is it any UV light spectrum?
It's gotta be the
That's a
sun. The
good
UV light
question.
just causes discomfort.
Oh,
Hold on, I think of the same person. Ezra Miller is like the reporter, right?
No,
Okay, that's the actor. Okay, no, that wasn't what I was referring to. Who's the
Yeah.
guy that's on like Rebel News? Never mind.
is it Owen Schroyer?
Nope.
Oh,
Oh,
wait,
no, he-
Rebel Media?
Yeah, like Urza something.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I
Where's the
remember.
Scarlet?
And
Something
then
like
there
that,
was
I don't know.
fucking Gavin McInnes, who I think is dead. I don't know.
He's the old guy with the hat on. Yeah.
I think that is Gavin McInnes, yeah.
Okay,
Gavin
yeah, he has
McInnes.
a straw. He has a straw hat. Yeah.
No, not a straw hat. I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's like a straw. It's like a straw hat or something like that.
It's
like a
literally
wide brim-
Monkey D. Luffy.
I
They're
don't
very-
know.
with like a very like a dumpy like a hunchback build.
No, yeah, that's somebody
Dumpy.
else.
Let's see.
Man,
Alright.
what you talking about? Caked up, you know what?
All right,
Like,
all right. It's 11:07. We gotta stop.
Yep. All right, good
Okay.
night, everybody.
good night.
All right.
Stop
See you
it!
soon.
Stop it now! Yep.